And I just want to wish him the best and know that all the Delmar Dons and all the people who grew up with Gary in Willow Glen and San Jose and his dad, Bill, etc., are so proud of him.
Rick, well said. Way to get in and get out. Great message there. Steve in Mountain View with a little tribute. Hey, Steve.
Thanks for taking my call, Larry. So pregame, Giants game, Larry's walking across right field. He's wearing one of those jackets that looked like it was from a 70s sofa. So I scream out, "Nice jacket, Radnich." I'm not expecting him to say anything. He turns around, looks at me, and says, "You like this? You like this? Where are you from, young man?" He's having this conversation with me.
As you're heckling.
700 feet away. It's just amazing.
Yeah. Nobody would disarm anybody faster than G-Rad. Gary's in Clayton on KNBR.
Thank you, Larry. I have to steal a Gary Radnich line. Gary, I hope you're listening, so I have to say it. Gary, listen to me and listen to me good. It has been a pleasure and a privilege. I wish you and the family all the best and hope to hear you on the airwaves soon.
There you go. All right. That very strong there. We'll take one more. Mike, who's the best here? Who's anybody great? FP? Bill in Vacaville. We'll get up to the former home of the Woos. What's up, Bill?
Hey, buddy. I just figured something out why I love Gary, and I'm sad, and I really can't stand him. And this is about life. Gary tricked us all. I don't think it was about sports ever. You think about, would you like to have opportunity, great athlete, tons and tons of money, Bentleys, and he showed us all how to have everything, be humble, and how to live right. And he always stood up for what he believed in. And in other words, like his cause was greater than the fear. He just kept rolling along. And what I learned was really how to live, man. And that's to be humble. I don't think I could ever live up to what he's done. And also, one last thing, when you're as popular as him, you get skinned inside and out like a politician.
Yep.
That's why he said what he wanted, because he never had nothing to hide.
Yeah.
He didn't have any fear at all. He just laid it out, and I was listening. And that's what pisses me off the most, is that it was always hard to live up to. But now the game's just starting, it's just like an honor thing. Like, thanks, Gary, for teaching me how to think about life, teaching me diversity, teaching me humble things, and forget the sports.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Bill, you nailed it. Bill, your best call of the day. Best call of the day. You absolutely nailed it. If there's something that you learn from Gary, it's not how necessarily to live. It's not like he's going to tell you how to raise your kids. He hated, he's not going to lecture anybody on how to live. But he gave you his philosophy on life. And in a market like Northern California, where you have a lot of educated people, you have a lot of sports fans, but you got a lot of people who have a lot of, different interests and eclectic interests, and they love sports, but they're not going to beat up their neighbor because the team lost. They're not going to kick their dog because the team lost. We have it, I think, here in perspective, and I think we have Gary to thank for some of that. I think that, just being totally honest about it, I think he's always kept it in perspective, and thus we've kept it in perspective. I think that last call absolutely nailed it. All right, let's take a timeout. Sean Estes is going to stop by. We'll get his thoughts on Gary, and then we'll talk a little baseball with Sean. How about Hunter Pence? We got to talk about Hunter Pence. Hunter Pence is the American League starting DH in the All-Star game. Didn't see that coming. Did not see that coming. Anyway, Estes joins us next. More of your phone calls straight ahead. Gary at the top of the hour for a couple hours, and hopefully then some. All today. Emotional day today. Stick around on the Sports Leader.
Diagnose and treat mental health conditions by investing in new technologies and resources, and by leading efforts to reduce the stigma associated with mental illness. Our care is recognized as some of the best in California, but we aren't finished yet. Learn more at kp.org/mentalhealth.
There's nothing better than enjoying a cold beer while watching baseball at America's most beautiful ballpark. You sip that delicious craft brew, completely unaware that 42,000 other fans are also filling their bladders with beer, lemonade, and God knows what else. And as you stand there, flushing away the remnants of your Pilsner with the carefree conscience of a child, know that you have the proud members of UA Local 38 Plumbers and Pipe Fitters to thank for taking care of it. UA Local 38, proud supporters of the Orange and Black.
Right now at T-Mobile, get an awesome iPhone XR on us when you bring your family over and trade in your old device. Because whether you have mom, dad, or a friend on your mind, it's a gift so bold and brilliant, you'll want to keep it for yourself. Most importantly, it's on us in 6 vibrant colors. Plus, with unlimited everything from T-Mobile, the awesome iPhone XR will have everyone snapping, streaming, and sharing to their heart's content all year long. But don't wait, it's only for a limited time. So visit a store or call 1-800-T-Mobile and get iPhone XR on us.
If congested, customers using more than 50 gigs per month may notice reduced speeds due to prioritization. Video at 480p via 24 monthly bill credits for well-qualified customers plus tax. Qualifying trade-in, port-in, service, and finance agreement required. Contact us before canceling or credit stop and remaining balance due. 64 gigs, 0 down plus $31.25 per month for 24 months. Pre-credit price $749.99, 0% APR. One offer per account.
Ceremony Ford has a brand new 2019 Fusion Energy Titanium for only $29,998 and 0% APR for 72 months. That's $5,892 net savings from MSRP, $3,092 dealer discount from MSRP, plus $2,000 retail customer cash and $500 select inventory retail customer cash.
8 of this offer. Example VIN 3 FKR 177840. Must qualify to finance through Ford Credit at standard rates. 0% APR financing for 72 months at $13.89 per month per $1,000 finance. No down payment required. Offer ends 6/30/19.
I always wear a life jacket when I'm on the water because I'm lazy. I like floating like a giant turtle covered with SPF 50. The life jacket does the work. I highly recommend this to everyone. Save the ones you love. A message from California State Parks Division of Boating and Waterways.
Geico presents 2 truths and a lie. 1, Geico could help you save hundreds on car insurance. 2, they've been helping people save for over 75 years. 3, squirrels actually work for a secret agency to spy on us. What you looking at, squirrel?
Before the BBQs, before the fireworks, visit your Northern California Honda dealers before July 4 sales event.
Gary and Larry continue on KNBR 680, the sports leader.
Well, happy Friday to you. Larry Krueger, Gary Radnich. Gary will be here at 11 o'clock for a couple hours to entertain you, make you laugh. You may want to get a box of tissues because he may make you cry as well. By the way, this big weekend this weekend. You got Yanks Red Sox going in London at London Stadium, and of course Giants D-backs. But NBA free agency kicks off Sunday at 3 p.m. Somebody on the text line says, "Could you mention LeBron James just so we can have a LeBron James mention?" How about LeBron potentially? Now they're saying LeBron has Anthony Davis, Kyle Kuzma, but the Lakers yesterday made a trade creating a max salary slot of $32 million. And there was a whole list of guys they may go after. One of them is Kawhi Leonard. What if the Lakers wind up with Kawhi Leonard? LeBron, Anthony Davis, Kyle Kuzma, Kawhi Leonard. I mean, if you're one of these people that doesn't want to see LeBron James pile up rings and maybe catch Jordan, that's not good news because more rings are coming if Kawhi goes to the Lakers. Let's go to the guest line because Sean Estes is there and he's been outstanding this year with us. And of course, Giants lost last night 5-1 to Arizona. Tonight it's Orange Friday. Merrill Kelly against Sean Anderson down the street. Sean, how are you?
Good, Larry. How's things going there?
A
little crazy.
Yeah, a crazy day and an emotional day. You got a thought about Gary hanging it up that you'd like to share with the audience?
Well, I mean, Gary and I go way back with Gary. First couple years in the big leagues, living in San Francisco. Him doing his, I think it was called Sports Final.
Sure.
On Cron. They used to roll the limo up to the condo in Telegraph Hill and take you over to House of Prime Rib, and then I'd go do Larry's show for the half hour on Sunday nights. I did that quite a bit with him, and so just always respected him. Thought he did a great job. Knowledge of sports was always fantastic, and always treated me very fair. And I really hadn't had a whole lot to do with Gary up until this year when I've been, the call-ins on your show. But he's always had my back, it seems like, So I appreciate, what he's done and for, be able to do it for as long as he has. That says a lot about, about his talents. So, yeah, sad to see him go. I'm sure you guys he's been your partner for a long time now, so I'm sure it'll be different for you moving forward. And I wish him the best in his retirement. I'm sure he's going to try to figure out what to do with his life now.
Yeah, he's not a golfer.
Hopefully.
He's not a golfer. Well, maybe we'll see. Maybe he is. Maybe he'll become a golfer. What was it like for you when you walked away from baseball? Because it's a different deal because you were a younger man. But do you look around and say, man, who am I? What am I? What should I do today? I mean, especially in a pro athlete when like you're always thinking about work out, stay in shape, work out, stay in shape. And then there's just like no real motivation other than just health to work out and stay in shape. What were those early days like in your retirement?
Yeah, it's a tough transition. Not many guys get to leave on their own terms, and I wasn't one of them due to the fact I just, I wanted to keep pitching, but health wasn't going to allow me to do it. And so I knew that when they stopped calling, I couldn't get a job. It was time to hang them up. So now you're trying to figure out what to do with the rest of your life. I mean, I was 36 years old. Yeah, I got a lot of life to live. I had a bunch of kids, but and I knew that was going to be my priority. Was their time and their attention, my attention to them. But you feel lost at first. It's more of a mental thing. Physically, I was fine with not having to go to the gym every day. In the winter, and even trying to maintain during the season. I didn't miss going on the road. I didn't miss doing that at all. I didn't really miss the whole, believe it or not, the whole clubhouse, atmosphere. I was fine with leaving all that. It was more the routine that you have on a day-to-day basis that now you have no routine. Now it's that you got to figure out a new routine. And mentally it was tough. It was a challenge to try to figure out. And that's really why I took 1 year off, played some golf, realized that wasn't going to fill the void. Hung out with the family quite a bit, but you needed to still do something for yourself. And so that's when I went and I interviewed at the time Comcast, now NBC, and I started my broadcasting career a year after I was done playing because I needed to have something to do to stimulate my brain and to have a little bit more of a routine. So that first year, though, was tough. That was a tough transition year, a lot of anxiety. Believe it or not, you'd think that it'd be less stressful, but it was actually more stressful for me because I was kind of lost. So my recommendation for anybody that's going to hang them up is to have some things in place already, some things that have some meaning, some things that can, that you can do for yourself, and transition right into that. It's not just about. I think if you kind of wing it, it's tough. It's tough. So I'm sure Gary's got it all figured out, though.
Hey, Giants last night, they lose 5-1. They've now lost 2 in a row. I mean, my whole thing is just whatever they do at the deadline. And Jeff Passan says Bumgarner could go this week. Heck, Dodgers have bullpen issues. They may look at Will Smith. A's are having bullpen issues. They may look at Will Smith. Boston, Minnesota, Cubs. There's a lot of teams that need exactly what the Giants have. All I would say to Farhan is get some offense that's major league ready. 3, 4, 5, 6 in the Giant lineup went 0 for 14 last night. They had 3 hits against an underwhelming pitcher. And this just cannot be good for the young pitchers that they have. Tyler Beede pitched well, but another game where he works into the 6th, only give up 2 earned runs, and he's sitting there trying to explain the loss at his locker afterwards. That's just not good.
No, it's not. I think it's pretty obvious they need some offense, and you're right. I think more guys that are closer to major league ready would be better. Maybe even some guys that have had some major league time that you could see see a bright future out of. I don't think you can completely ignore starting pitching as well. So a couple good arms, obviously, they can fill the rotation with. I like Anderson. I like Beede. Obviously, Bum's one of those guys being traded. You're missing your ace at that point. So you gotta get some more starting pitching because I think that the better arms are down in the lower levels in the minor leagues. So what are you going to run out there next year? So right now you like Anderson and Beede. Samardzij's back for another year. So you still have to address that, the starting pitching. But I think everything, when you're not scoring runs, it just becomes magnified that you have to get some offense. The team was built really around starting pitching. The World Series were as a result of how good their starting pitching was. So I think that's going to still be kind of the model that Farhan's going to going to implement moving forward. But you have to score some runs. I mean, those teams also had some good timely hitting. They had clutch hitters. They had guys that got, they had the 2-out RBI was huge. Just they had the ability to score and hit the ball out of the park at times, and that's just not what we're seeing right now. It's just a very flat offense, and they show some signs, and then to kind of get to perk your interest a little bit, and then they fall flat and score 10 runs in 5 games and spoil really good starting pitching performances. So I agree, man. A guy like, and I know it's easier said than done. And you see that kid that the Braves had, the Riley kid that came up.
Somebody who's ready to roll right now, who can hit 3, 4, 5 in a big league lineup and not get farmed out in 5 weeks. I mean, that's where's their Pete Alonso? I mean, they just have, and I don't want a bounty for these guys. I just want one good hitter for Smith, one good hitter for Bumgarner, and let's see what this thing looks like. I got to get your thoughts though on Hunter Pence. I mean, what an incredible story he is. He's headed back to the All-Star game. Now, for those who don't know the difference between last year and this year as far as his numbers, listen to this. Last year, 248 at-bats with the Giants, 97 games. He had some injury problems. He hit 226 with a 258 on base, 4 home runs, 24 RBIs. Now he's in Texas this year, and in 215 at-bats, about 55 games, he's hitting 294, 353 on base, 15 jacks, and nearly 50 RBIs. He's got 48 right now, and we're not quite at the break. I mean, I didn't see this coming. I mean, I can't imagine you did either. What do you make of Pence? Or have you talked to him? Do you know what he did to kind of turn his whole ship around?
I haven't talked to him personally, but I have talked to people that have talked to him, and I just, first of all, it's a really cool story. I mean, just the guy doesn't need the money. I mean, let's face it. I mean, that a lot of times that is the motivating factor, but this guy just loves to play the game, and I don't know if you were on the same boat as I was last year, but when they did the farewell last game of the season, they gave him the on-field ceremony with the scooter and everything. I thought that was the last time we'd see him on a baseball field.
I really did too.
And so for what he was able to do, to go and tweak his swing a little bit. I mean, if you watch his swing, it doesn't look a whole lot different, but just a couple minor adjustments that he made. He went to the Dominican Republic this past winter to refine that swing, to go over there and became a fan and team favorite. Then he did himself some favors too. I mean, I'm not going to take anything away from the numbers, but he put himself in a perfect position, being on a club in the American League at a hitter-friendly ballpark where he can DH at times. He doesn't have to go on the field, and he doesn't have to play every day in the field. And now he's reaping those benefits from that decision. But it goes to show you, like, there's not many guys that could do what he did. Just because from a mental standpoint, you're thinking, like, I don't need to do this. But he's persevered. I mean, he's got determination still. I mean, I'm really happy for the guy. I think any Giant fan will tell you that they're happy for him. But I think if you polled 100 big-time Giant fans and big-time Pence fans, if they saw this coming, nobody would say they did. So I think it's also, him using that as motivation, that people, no one thought that he had anything left in the tank, and I think he just wanted to prove everybody wrong. In addition to being he loves the game of baseball, and he loves to be around the guys, and the guys love to have him around because he's such a positive, high-energy dude. He's going to make any team better. So congratulations to him. I don't think if he's in a Giant uniform this year that happens. But like I said, he did himself favors by picking the right team in the right situation, and he went home to a place that he's loved. And, kudos to him, man.
Yeah, awesome. No, he goes home. I think that's part of it. That, he's playing in a really, really live yard. That probably is part of it. He's not the guy that you're trying to take away in that lineup. Nomar Mazara and Joey Gallo are, so maybe there's a little bit of that. I gotta get your thought on the All-Star game. Mike Trout says that they ask him every single year to participate in Home Run Derby, and he's now an All-Star for the 7th year in a row, and every year they ask him, he says no. Cody Bellinger says no. He doesn't want to do it either. I think the thing is kind of played out. Now, FP and I were discussing different ideas for home run derby. Tell me what you think of this one. This is the one. This is a little. I told FP I had one idea, but I kind of altered it a little bit. Tell me if you like this idea. I'm thinking of a 10-man home run derby, and here are 5 players. Give me one pitcher. In this case, let's say Madison Bumgarner. Give me the current minor league home run leader at the top of the minors. No A-ball guy, but somebody in double or triple A. Like this year would be maybe Bobby Bradley, who's in the Indians system, who just got called up. So now you got the minor league home run king. You got one really good hitting pitcher. You do a contest in the first half of the year. You get one really, really talented fan. You get one celebrity who can actually do it, and you get one retired player. And then, so you got 5 basically non-hitters. Well, I shouldn't say that. Non-major league hitters. And then, you fill in with 5 other guys. The career home run leader, which right now would be Albert Pujols. He's got 600 and something. The home run leader right now, which is Christian Yelich. And then have the commissioner's office pick 3 more. Maybe a Shohei Ohtani to get the international crowd. Maybe Cody Bellinger. Maybe Aaron Judge. You can let the commissioner decide. And have it out. I think that would be awesome. $1 million prize, $500,000 goes to you, $500,000 goes to you, the charity of your choice. I think that format would be so much better than what they currently have. It would be different, and maybe the minor league guy would get locked in. Maybe the pitcher would get locked in. Maybe there's a fan who's really special. I don't know. Maybe there's a former big leaguer who's really ripped and in great shape, and Barry Bonds or something. I think it would be really cool. Give me your thought. You like it?
Well, I mean, what you just said would perk interest for sure. I mean, a lot more people would watch it. Absolutely. I mean, if that's what you're trying to do is bring eyes to the TV. Obviously, the money would help. Isn't this year $1 million to the winner?
Is it $1 million to the winner this year? I didn't see that, but I know some people think it's too long, but I think it's just that we don't know the guys, and they're all using their pitcher, and it's just, I don't know, and we've seen it year after year. I just think if they
it's kind of like the slam dunk contest. It
exactly
used to have that allure, and you really looked forward to watching that more so than you did even the All-Star game. And everybody would tune into that because you had the best dunkers in the game doing it. Now guys don't want to go out there and either get hurt or whatever it is, but no one watches the slam dunk contest anymore. That's kind of what the home run derbies turn into, in my opinion, and it shouldn't. I think it's awesome to watch, but I think they do have to make it more interesting, and you have to get your best power hitters. You have to get the best home run hitters on display. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. The names are going to drive the people to watching those games. And if you can add a little bit more interest, like say a Barry Bonds, if he knows that he has a chance to do that, I mean, he'll go out there and he'll start hitting a little bit, gearing up for that. I wouldn't be surprised if, he stepped in the cage the other day and hit one out of the ballpark, So this guy still has power. If you get a Bumgarner in there, I like the idea of a pitcher. Right when you said that, I was like, you got to get a pitcher in there too. So having the pitcher, and then now you're bringing some minor league kids in. I think you're onto something, Larry.
Seriously,
see if we can get it in motion.
One last one before we let you out of here. Everybody has said the right thing and apologized in that Newsday Mets deal with Mickey Callaway, except for the lefty Jason Vargas, who kind of doubled down yesterday, and he won't apologize. He hasn't apologized publicly. He's not apologizing privately. And he kind of doubled down. He says, I don't think all the information is really out there. The Mets, there was a Mets person saying, hey, look, this guy, we're basically done with Vargas. He won't be here next year. So it sounds like he's made his bed. But, I mean, I know it's a nightmarish year, but give me your perspective on Vargas. I mean, have you ever had that kind of thing happen? And shouldn't Vargas just say, hey, man, I'm sorry, diffuse the thing and get down the road?
Well, I think where he messed up, and I think inside of a clubhouse, a lot of times you'll have one guy speaking for a lot of guys, even though he won't mention other guys' names. And a lot of the frustrations that I'm sure that they had with this guy was clubhouse-wide. And so Vargas, in essence, was speaking for the rest of the team. And there has been beat writers in the past that they're really negative. They're tough to be around. They're always asking, they're always asking questions that put you on the defensive. That's what they're doing. They're trying to get under your skin. Now you can't allow that to happen, but it happens. So, but it's their job to do this. Okay, they have access to the clubhouse. It's their job, so you have to respect that part of it. I think where he got out of line, or where the apology needs to come is the fact that he threatened the dude, physically.
Yeah.
Now
You can't do that.
You can't do that. Like, you can sit there and get into. I've got into it with beat writers, but I'm not going to physically threaten them and make their life when they or feel threatened when they come into that clubhouse. I mean, that's not something that I think is. I don't warrant that at all.
Hey.
I don't think that's something that can happen. So you have to apologize if that happened.
Absolutely.
Now, getting into it and maybe having some verbal words, maybe there's some profanities exchanged, whatever. But when you
threaten a guy,
he needs to apologize.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Hey, Sean, we got to jump. We got the great Ned Coletti on the line from London. Wants to throw in a word or two on Gary. So we'll let you get on with your weekend. But good to talk to you again. We'll do it again.
Okay, Larry.
Appreciate it, Sean Estes on the UMA guest line. And unlike that, we pivot to Ned Coletti, who dials in from London. When Ned heard that Gary was hanging it up, he's like, "Man, I got something I got to say." Ned, how are you?
I'm doing good, gentlemen. Mr. Radnich, how you doing, pal?
He's not. He's making his way up right now, so he's not sitting here just yet.
Okay.
But go ahead. I'm sure he's
right.
listening. We'll have all this on tape for him.
All right. Well, I just wanted to wish him the best. We had a lot of laughs, Larry, and always appreciated his questions, his candor, and him keeping me in the loop there, even though I moved out of town a long time ago.
I would ask you about Matt Kemp and his batting average and on base percentage, and he would ask you about Rihanna. And probably more people cared about Rihanna and Matt Kemp than his batting average or his on base percentage. But Gary, Ned, you did PR for a long time with the Cubs, and you've come across a lot of different media people. Maybe you could speak to what makes Gary so special from your perspective.
Well, he doesn't care. He cares so much he doesn't care. And so he'll ask you what sometimes you don't want to really get into, but it's a curiosity that goes further than usual. So, I thought he was provoking in a lot of good ways. I thought the conversations were different. I thought it wasn't a typical show that you guys had. I think it had a little bit more edge to it, a little bit more grit to it, and obviously when you do that, you got a lot more information for it too.
Yeah. No, and we really have appreciated having you on through the years. And what's the talk? Major League Baseball coming to London this weekend. Yanks Sox 2-game series. They took the Sky Boeing 777 out there. It looked pretty nice for the Red Sox. Is there a lot of buzz in London right now about that series, or not so much?
You know what? In the last couple of days, there's been a lot more hats, a lot more Red Sox hats, Yankee hats, but candidly, there hasn't been a whole lot. And I was out at the stadium Monday with the class I'm teaching here, and it's going to be a beautiful venue. They've really done a great job in an Olympic stadium, much like they did in Montreal many years ago. But you don't hear a whole lot. But all word is that they've sold every ticket, and they sold them quick.
All right, buddy. Well, hey, good to hear from you.
Safe. About 70% British that are going to go.
Safe travels, anyway. and thanks for chiming in. And sorry we couldn't get Gary, sitting down here right here, but he loves you and he appreciates you. So thanks for chiming in on this big day.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Ned. Ned Coletti from London. All right, we'll take a time out. Up next, Gary Radnich in his own words. Coming up next, time for traffic, though, sponsored by the Alameda County Fair. Alameda County Fair is back now through July the 7th with a brand new thrill ride, the Mega Flip. Buy your Carnival wristbands online early and save. AlamidaCountyFair.com on the web.
From the Chilton Auto Body traffic desk, BART continues to have issues with the Union City station shut down due to an incident where apparently a BART train struck somebody on the tracks there, and because of that activity, nobody in and out of the station, trains not rolling through, AC Transit with mutual aid there. Also, we want to remind you that Smart Train has had issues this morning as well with another train versus pedestrian incident at Roner Park. That's their second at that area in successive mornings. So BART and Smart Train with significant delays this morning. Northbound 101 near SJC, a wreck has kept things pretty slow there. Right around Trimble, it's on the right-hand shoulder. And no toll plaza delay, but it is still slow pretty much all the way across the Bay Bridge.
One of my favorite texts here, 650. My wife used to come home and tell me about her day at work, and I would say to her, babe, get in and get out. That is awesome. Traffic sponsored by your local Toyota dealer. Toyota's 4th of July sales event is on now. Get $1,500 cash back on the 2019 Camry or low financing on the all-new Corolla, or test drive the first ever Corolla Hybrid. The offer ends on July the 8th. Toyota, let's go places.
Gary and Larry on KNBR 680, the sports leader.
At CDW, we get that startups operate at hyperspeed.
Last week, it was just me. Now I have employees. That means we need a phone system, PCs, a secure infrastructure.
We can help with that. And as you grow, your CDW account team can help you build solutions that fit your needs and budget and get them to you fast.
Can you deliver yesterday?
IT orchestration by CDW. People who get it. Find out more at cdw.com/startups.
Introducing Envy, Kelly Moore's newest premium exterior house paint with superior performance for lasting durability and protection, featuring a timeless palette of colors that fit your home's style and comes with a lifetime warranty. Make your home the pride of the neighborhood with Envy exterior house paint only from Kelly Moore. Right now through July 7th, get 30% off premium paints plus get 30% off Kelly Moore multi-surface blue painter's tape value packs. Visit kellymoore.com and sign up for a free color sample coupon. Redeemable at your neighborhood Kelly Moore paint store.
Dwight Kuiper here. Hey, we recently got a home security system installed. I looked at all the options, and there's a lot of them, and I chose Bay Alarm because they're the local security experts. It's more than just a burglar alarm. It's a life safety system, professionally monitored 24/7 with smoke, fire, and carbon monoxide detectors. Go to bayalarm.com to get your free security review. Bay Alarm, what have you got to lose?
ACO 28CCL 880138.
I'm Jim Cook, brewer of Sam Adams. We put rich, delicious flavor first. Only the best ingredients, no rice or corn. Crafted traditionally and slowly. That matters to us and to you. Cheers from Sam Adams Boston Lager. The Boston Beer Company, Boston, Mass. Savor the flavor responsibly.
If you're on the road now, there's a pretty good chance you'll see the all-new Chevy Silverado. And if you're wondering what's new about it, the answer is everything. It's got a brand new Durabed made with high-strength steel. It's the most functional bed in its class, with more cargo volume than any other competitor. Plus a beefier corner step bumper and an available industry-first power up-down tailgate. Go to Chevy.com and see the all-new Silverado, the strongest, most advanced Silverado ever.
Well-qualified buyers can get 0% financing for 72 months on an all-new 2019 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab LT pickup. See your Bay Area Chevy dealers today. Excludes 2019 Silverado 1500 2LT Crew Cab pickups. Monthly payment is $1,389 for every $1,000 you finance. Example down payment is 4%. Must finance with GM Financial. Some customers may not qualify. Not available with lease and some other offers. Take new retail delivery by 7/1/19. See dealer for details.
Ah, the sounds of a great night's sleep on a mattress from Mancini Sleep World. And right now, enjoy huge savings during our 4th of July adjustable comfort mattress sale. We have the largest selection of top brand quality adjustable comfort mattresses, so we're sure you'll find that perfect mattress at Mancini's. Take advantage of our 0% financing, free white glove delivery, and removal of your old mattress. Stop by Mancini Sleep World to find the mattress that's right for you.
At Indeed, we understand that when it comes to hiring, it's important to have a large talent pool to choose from. But sometimes too many good options can be overwhelming. That's why Indeed doesn't just give you access to a large pool of job seekers. We also offer screener tools that let you instantly narrow down your search. Hone in on hiring with Indeed. Experience Indeed for yourself today and get a free sponsored job upgrade on your first posting at Indeed.com/promo. Terms and conditions apply.
You love your backyard and the outdoors. Insects love you. The Home Depot and Cutter have just what you need for whatever kind of outdoor lover you are. Personal repellents like Cutter Backwoods Spray for deep woods protection against mosquitoes and more. Cutter Dry Spray or Backwoods Dry Spray that won't leave you feeling oily or greasy. Get any 3 for just $9 for protection for the whole family. Today is the day for doing and saving on Cutter. Now at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. Valid through July 7th in select stores while supplies last. See store for details.
Good morning, Gary, Larry, and good morning, San Francisco.
You want to do Stormy Daniels real quick?
Yes.
Before we start, you got a joint? Nick, you're...
Ned.
I keep
Ned,
thinking of Nick
Ned.
Cafardo,
Yeah.
but I was going to say, congratulations, Mark.
Matt.
Hey, Larry, when did you become a prick? Love you, my brother. Very good, Mike. Hey, before we get started, you guys got to do two things for me. They've been you have to do this, all right?
Validate your parking?
No, parking. No, who did I bump into there? What's the young lady on KGO in the morning? Or no, she does the news.
Who you had a little accident with?
Well, no, I was backing up, about 2 months ago.
Right.
I bumped into just a little dent. So, I mean, I could have got away with it, but as Lisa would say, there could be cameras. So then I got to come in. I say, here, I'll get you a place. Nikki Midori, right?
Not Nicki Minaj.
I don't think
Nikki
it was
Medoro. Nikki Medoro.
Nikki Minora. So I say to her,
Minaj.
Spence, undo this for your poor father. I got my wife and my son here. And so, make a long story short, on the last day here, by the time we got done, Nikki redid her whole car. My God. Nikki, what you got? New lights? Anyway. But that's,
New grill, new hood ornament?
Oh, my God. Never hit anybody at KGO. You get stick. No, but Mike, Art Spander, of all people, instead of saying good luck, he just says, I'm in Wimbledon. Can I listen? So can you contact Art Spander and tell him to go to KNBR.com. Hey, and when you know it's about time, Alicia will tell you this story. Larry, you'll appreciate this. We're standing in line. You don't have to do anything, sweetie, until when Larry moves, then you jump in there. But when we're standing in line at Jamba Juice.
Right.
And we're just standing there. There's a guy in front of us. I said, I kind of know this guy. I go to Alicia. I kind of know this guy. And I figured it out. He's the fill-in host on Triples Alley, Anthony Garcia.
Who you actually were complimenting, weren't you?
Yes. So I kind of introduced myself. I said, Anthony, just want to say, hey, I enjoyed you when you were filling in. You didn't drop your pants, but you were pretty good. He goes, well, thank you very, very much. And he goes, wait, you're Gary Radnich? Yeah. So anyway, he sent out a final tweet. This guy from Triples Alley, the one
He's already
on Fox
tweeted?
with the kids. Well, he just tweeted one, but it was all about himself. He just said, I'd like to, he said, hey, I know I've arrived. Gary Radnich, what did he say, pick me out of the crowd or something. But nothing about, hey, good last show, nothing. It was about him. Anyway, Anthony, I got your thing.
Anthony Garcia, I'm told, in my ear is his name.
Is it? Yeah, well,
and
whatever.
the text line already weighing in with, as you put your head earpiece in there.
Yeah.
Larry, do you think Gary would like John Feinstein? I would say no.
Oh, God. Well, it's funny because Spencer had the phone, and we didn't want to, I didn't want to break my image. So we got here about 10:40, so we walked real slow and around the block
I was
once.
going to say, that's way early.
Well, listen, you've been great to me. I mean, there's no use. You've said all the stuff today that I appreciate, and we had a good thing going, and I think your knowledge and my nonchalance paid off a little bit. So we had a good run. In fact, I was just looking through, back in the glory days of, all media is different. We'll talk about it. But in the glory days, Kate, you and myself, gosh, I looked at some of these books. We were getting like 10s, 9s, 8s. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now they tell you if you drop your pants, we can get a 4. So, but I'm just saying it's radio talk. But listen, Larry, good guy, and I just want to be there the first time you say, Tommy, I'd like to come back and talk about the 2022 draft. And Tom says, no.
We're talking Pilsner.
Yeah. Larry, a cocktail waitress bent over last night. And, no, but that's going to be good. Now, you put a little pump in Tom, like same way you did with me, and I think it'll be fine.
Well,
it'll be fine. That's all I'm going with.
I'm going to get out of your way here, but
Yeah.
I just want to say, and to your wife and to your son as well, that
Yes.
I didn't know what you were going to be like when we got together.
Yeah.
But the thing that struck me, and I've mentioned it a couple times now, is, Gary, you love people and you treat everybody. I know your family's first and the audience. I said the family's first, the audience is second.
On some days, that audience could creep up to first, yeah.
No, but as far as you, that's the one thing that I've learned from you off the air is that just treat people well. And it doesn't take any effort to treat people well, and you consistently treat people well,
Larry.
And that's why people gravitate towards you. So
Can I tell you a secret?
I tip my cap to you.
No. You go out with Tommy and John and Rod for a beer, right?
Right.
And you go out 2 days a week.
Throw open a bag.
And by the fourth week, you're going to say, what an a-hole. So my thing
I'm going to stop by Gary's house and pick him up.
Exactly. No. My point is, though, well, I can maybe get along when I'm working, but then I go home and I close the door, and that's it. So that's my best tip if you want to be considered nice to people.
Leave it at work.
Well, I'm just saying familiarity breeds contempt. So, all right, Larry. Well, thanks. Good luck to you, young man. Thank you. Yeah, good luck.
Thank
Larry's
you.
going to start the middle of the month. It'll be very good. And I'll say it again. I'm just praying. Tommy, I'd like to do a segment on future Giant prospects because you caught me at a time, honestly. where I said, hey, I like Larry personally. That's an amazing comeback that he made. It's just I admire it to death. And probably more to the point, I was getting a little tired. So if you wanted to talk about crap that I would normally hate, it didn't bother me. Tom is still feeling good.
That's right. I'm going to say Marco Luciano, and he's going to say, there's the freaking door.
All right. Hey, very
Have a good
good
show, Gary.
Okay, very good. Who's this guy? I want somebody with, I told you, nobody with less than $40 million in the bank on today. Here is my good friend. Whenever I got a problem, I would call him up and we'll tell a story about how he cost me over $500,000. But we'll say it in a moment. Here is Carmen Policy. Hello, Carmen.
Well, good morning, Gary, but I don't understand some of the things I've heard earlier in the program. People are actually saying nice things about you.
Oh, stop it. You're just because you signed Deion Sanders, don't let it go to your head, you know? Hey, no, I appreciate Carmen. In fact, Carmen, you want to tell the quick story how we hooked up? Because I'm just telling the audience, I'm going to do most of the talking about myself. We're on KNBR.com, so you get. That's why I brought my beautiful wife, and my son is in there. Yeah. Oh, here's the headset still. And so we're going to keep everything moving, but I wanted to have Carmen on just for a quick word. You want to tell the Mariucci story?
Well, I'd be happy to tell the Mariucci story because it shows a devious side of you that perhaps some of your friends and certainly your listeners wouldn't know.
Yeah, thank you.
And when I was running the 49ers and having a good time doing it, you were darn popular, and your show was very sought after. And
yeah, the TV show back in that era did pretty well,
real well.
Yeah.
And you wanted me to come into the city and do an interview and do I think it was a Sunday night show.
Exactly.
And I says, I can't do it because I've got an appointment. I've got to be somewhere for dinner. Come on in, you said. I'll have a limo driver pick you and gal up. They'll wait for you. They'll take you to your appointment. They'll wait for you at your appointment and bring you back to Palo Alto. And we'll tape whatever we have to tape. And I said, all right, we'll do it. So we went in and we did the show, and Gail was there, and you were wonderful, and you were your charming self. And you said, good luck. Take care. Thanks for coming. I really appreciate it. It was a real gesture of friendship for you to do it. So I got in the car with Gail, and we go off to the hidden restaurant.
Wait, you said I was devious. You didn't say nothing to me about where you were going, but go ahead.
No, well, it was none of your business. That's the point.
Yeah.
So there I am, first time in my life in Point Richmond,
right.
And I'm going in to have dinner. And as I'm coming out from dinner, I'm hugging this guy, and I'm hugging his wife, getting in the car, and the limo driver takes me home. And that's when the limo driver, the undercover limo driver, I might add, calls Gary and says, I just saw Carmen Policy come out of Point Richmond's restaurant hugging the head coach of the Cal Bears.
Yeah.
And
that's where we got the scoop. The Mariucci the next day was going to be that back in my news days, TV news, that Mariucci was going to be the new head coach of the 49ers. The only problem is I bet you Seifert got a better going away present than I'm getting, but that's another story.
No one can figure out how in the heck did you get the information? And all of a sudden I put one and one together, and I was so careful in the car not to talk about anything.
Right.
But you paid the guy, so I should have known.
Oh, no, and you tipped him good, too. Let me do one more, Carmen, because you're the only, quote, celebrity guest we have today. We just got some friends and callers that are going to make up the show, but I want to in fact, your girlfriend's got a headset on ready to talk to you here, Carmen.
Oh, you're the reason I'm here on this phone talking because
Yeah.
There's no other reason I would take time out of my wonderful day.
Yeah. Well, let me tell the TV story.
Of how I fell in love with Carmen?
Yeah,
Yes.
I come home and Alicia's on the phone.
Ever. Yes.
So there's all this type of stuff in the contract when I was ready to leave television that, there's the severance agreement and all that, and it was between $500,000 and $600,000. But they had they'd gone through all these different owners, and they're nice guys to this day. But, these guys were small market people. They're used to dealing with, somebody from Monroe, Louisiana, where the severance was $48.50, $48.50. So anyway, I call up to Carmen. I said, Carmen, they want me to sit at my desk all day. And what did you tell me?
I said, sit there till they carry you out on the stretcher.
Exactly. I said, Carmen goes, it's between $500,000 and $600,000. So I said, well, all right, Carmen, I'm not going to sit there for money. When you start living for money, you're dead. So I go into work. I come back, and Carmen is what did he tell you, that I was nuts?
Carmen called back and said, Alicia, he said, Alicia, you have a daughter going to NYU next year.
Yeah.
Have Gary just sit.
Yeah.
Just sit there for a while. I'm like, okay, Carmen, I'm going to pass this on to him. But, Gary does his thing. So.
Yeah, no, I was not going to, after, 34 years of doing what you want,
quite well
I was not
advised.
going to sit next to a guy from Monroe, Louisiana. That's the only reason I'm still happy today is that you kind of did what you wanted. But I tell you, Carmen, if I ever get stuck at the end, it was between $500,000 and $600,000, okay?
Well, let me just say this.
Yeah.
I introduced my phone call to Alicia with, Alicia, I called you because I had to talk to somebody in your family who has common sense and good judgment.
There you go.
No. Hey, let me just tell you, at the end of the day, money comes and goes, but you got to feel good and you got to do what you think's right. Hey, you're my favorite. You're the only celebrity guest
Mine
we
too,
have.
Carmen. I love you.
The only celebrity guest.
I love you.
All right.
I love you.
Hey, thanks, Carmen. Say hi to Gail.
All our best to Gail as well.
Well, thank you, and the best to you and that gorgeous family of yours.
All right. Well, thanks, Carmen, very, very much. That's a great Carmen policy. Yeah, on the show today, Carmen's, like I said, he's the only guy that, the station was nice enough. We'll get everybody. We'll get Doug Wilson. We'll get Myers. We'll get Jed York. I said, no. I'd rather do it with the guys that I get a kick out of. So I think Kate Scott's going to come on here for a second. And then we got the callers down the road, Johnny the Gout Man. We're going to have, let's see, who else was Johnny? Oh, we got, of all about 7,500 nice emails we got and the tweets and all that, the guy who sucked up to me the most is going to finish the show. There was one guy, a guy named James Kincaid, who sucked up to me the most. Hey, Timmy. That's my good friend, Thin Tim. But when we come back, we'll do a serious thing, and then we'll start the laughs with the fabulous Bruno. We're going to go as long as Tony. Of all the things we got, and Larry and I, well received, but the fabulous Bruno, I'd say, what'd you say, babe? 1 out of every 10?
Oh, my gosh. Absolutely.
Right. And Spencer is here, my son. Real quick, Spence, we'll get you in with your thoughts on where do you think Durant is going,
Knicks.
You really think so, huh?
Yeah.
What are you basing that on?
Nothing. I just think he likes New York.
All right. Well, that's Spencer. So he's, we all like New York, but that's my 11-year-old son, Spencer, taking a break. My other kids got one back east. Got Isabella is at a chemistry camp. And then my 3 grown ones are all spread out over the country from Boston, another New York, and a third son from Salt Lake City. So if you think I'm paying airfare to bring him in for a radio bit, forget it. Anyway, we will take a quick break, talk about how we came to this day. Straight ahead on East Sports Leader.
This is our celebration of the Bay Area legend, the great.
Let's bring in the great.
Gary Radnich on KNBR 680, the sports leader.
It's Mattress Firm's 4th of July sale, and we're celebrating with our free event. Get free bed accessories like a free adjustable bed base, 2 free memory foam pillows, and a free mattress protector when you take home your new bed for just $7.99. That's a value of over $850, absolutely free. And on top of that, you can save up to $400 on the best mattress brands store-wide. Hurry in, your budget stretches further at Mattress Firm.
Offer valid with qualifying purchase. Restrictions apply. Valid at participating locations only. For offer details, visit mattressfirm.com/sale.
Hey everybody, Brian Murphy here to remind you that Amici's East Coast Pizzeria offers weeknight dine-in specials after 5 p.m. every night, Monday through Thursday, at their 10 Bay Area locations. On Mondays, it's all-day happy hour. You don't even have to wait until 5 p.m. Tuesdays, it's kids eat free. One free kids entree per adult. On Wednesdays, half-price pastas, any pasta, any size. And on Thursdays, it's free toppings night on any size pizza. So when you're looking for a good value weeknight meal out with family and friends, Amici's delivers.
At Team Chevrolet, we believe car buying should be easy, fun, and hassle-free. And our 4th of July sale is the perfect time to experience the advantages of shopping with DGDG. From our one-of-a-kind guest experience, to our no-brainer pricing backed by the most trusted automotive resources in America, to our incredible website where you can view our entire inventory of brand new Chevys online, there's just no reason not to check out DGDG.
Shop online and save.
So don't just take our word for it. Visit our website and see for yourself. Join over 200,000 happy car buyers and discover how easy, fun, and hassle-free car buying can be with DGDG. This is Sean O'Grant. Find new roads at Team Chevrolet in Vallejo. Online at teamchevrolet.com. A proud member of DGDG.
Get our most epic no-brainer deals of the summer during the 4th of July sales event at Team Chevrolet.
Happy summertime!
This is John Feinstein with a CBS Sports Minute, sponsored by NHTSA. Every year, children die from heat stroke in cars. If you see a child left unattended, call 911 immediately. Now, here's one of these reports that makes absolute sense. According to the New York Times' Mark Stein, basketball's version of the Three Stooges, the Knicks, are prepared to offer DeMarcus Cousins a substantial one-year contract if they fail to sign Kevin Durant, as seems likely. The Knicks and Cousins are made for each other. The Knicks can't even hold a press conference without getting fined. They couldn't even tank their way into the first pick in this year's draft. Cousins never played in a postseason game in New Orleans, and even if he was as great a player as he believes himself to be, is nothing but a clubhouse cancer. Boogie cares about Boogie, period, which is why he's perfect for the Knicks. A player who doesn't care about winning on a team with no chance to win. I'm John Feinstein.
If Baby could talk, she'd say a lot. You'd know what she's thinking and what makes her happy. But unfortunately, Baby can't talk or remind you you're the one taking her to daycare today. And she won't speak up if you drive straight to work like any other day and never think to look in the backseat. Every year, dozens of kids die from heat stroke in cars. No one is perfect, so set a reminder. And always look before you lock. Where's Baby? Paid for by NHTSA.
You love your backyard and the outdoors. Insects love you. The Home Depot and Cutter have just what you need for whatever kind of outdoor lover you are. Personal repellents like Cutter Backwoods Spray for deep woods protection against mosquitoes and more. Cutter Dry Spray or Backwoods Dry Spray that won't leave you feeling oily or greasy. Get any 3 for just $9 for protection for the whole family. Today is the day for doing and saving on Cutter. Now at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. Valid through July 7th in select stores while supplies last. See store for details.
Yeah, again, coming up in a couple of minutes, the fabulous Bruno, and I thanked everybody trying to get on the show today. But let me just now we're going to talk serious here. I was a TV guy. I know a lot of younger people. They go, "Geez, what the heck?" Ron Owens was just trying to get on. Anyway, a lot of No, today we're just doing it, my friends. Nobody. All right, we've already. This the guys who I want to have on, not want to whatever. But hey, where's this? I thought we had good security out here. Anyway, here's the deal. No, I'm playing with you. I'm playing with you guys. That's fine. Here's the deal. I'm a TV guy by heart, and for you know, maybe younger listeners who picked up on the program. Maybe within the last few years, or heck, nobody watches. The local TV is really tough. All media is tough these days. But we used to, my wife and I would say, you know, TV paid for the kids' education and our homes. Radio paid for the cars, you know, and it was great. So I did the TV and was, you know, just caught on pretty good through the mid-'80s and early '90s. And then Tony Salvador, who we'll have on later, the general manager, said, hey, maybe you want to come, and we're going to try and start a new format. And so I don't know. And the TV person said, there's going to be references to money. That's my nature. But if you want to know the truth, most everything is triggered by money. If you're working at the accountant as an accountant, you sit in your cubicle and you say you ask for a raise. From then on, your boss kind of looks at you quizzically. Money just drives everything. But my point is, they asked me to come in and try this radio, Tony. And he had heard me a couple times on with Ralph. Like I said, my TV thing was just kind of emerging. And thankfully for me, Wayne Walker retired in the early 90s. And we had NBC then and all the stuff. So for those of you who haven't seen me do my thing, that's when I was probably at my best, doing interviews and shows. And that's when I was doing my thing. This is more fun, but I was doing my thing. And then the offers came in from New York or ESPN and different things of that nature. But that's when I was really doing my thing. And then Mr. Salvador asked me to come in. He'd heard me on with Ralph, and when Ralph needed a guest, I'd pop on with him. And they were funny, and Ralph and I hit it off pretty good. But then when Salvador put me on here, the first show, I was actually following a cooking show. It was... what was it by? The Harvey Steinman. Harvey Steinman's cooking show. So there was fricking lasagna on the little control panel my first day. We'll get through all this crap and get to what people really want to hear in a minute, but I'm just setting it up. So I ended up doing that. It was great. The ratings were terrific. It was a different era. Now you've got all social media. You got the satellite. You got, is anybody going to sit on hold for 20 minutes? No, I can send out a tweet and have the same effectiveness. I'm not going to, it's just a different era. You need two guys arguing with each other now. But back in those days, we could take calls. We built it around the callers. Honest to gosh, in fact, there's a famous Oral Hershiser story. Oral Hershiser, when we were in Phoenix, I was doing my TV show, he didn't show up. So the next day he called in to apologize, and I said, don't put him on. So then, Tony I working for him, Bob Agnew comes in and screaming, you hung up on Oral Hershiser. I said, well, he stiffed me last night. So the point of the whole matter is that you always feel good if a guy never yo-yoed you around. And that was always my gift. I told Tony I want to walk in and walk out. I don't want to sit in any meetings. I don't want to do anything. Now, if it's something special or, something that needed to be said, fine. But I didn't want to, if I'm going to work all day long as I had, or as I was going to have to do, I wanted to do that. So I'd do the show, I'd go home. Same with TV. I'd be on 8 shows a day. At some time, do the shows, come home. Do the shows, come home, like a yo-yo. But I guess where I'm leading to here is the end. I did want to finish up my contract through the end of the year. And when I say this, I did. That's what I had intended to do. But you can, at least he'll tell you, as soon as the 49ers signed, so I guess my point is, nobody caught anybody off guard. Nobody was like, what are they doing? It doesn't make any sense. But when Papa's available, and Greg's a terrific play-by-play guy, and very respected for his work. My point is that there's no way with football starting, the 49ers want to get Papa in there. I'm not saying it was like at my expense, but when you make what I make, what the hell? Let's get Papa in now, and do it that way. I mean, there was no kidding. And then KNBR comes back to me with a very nice, these guys, listen, Ralph, Mr. Salvador, and I built this station. I continually hear this over and over again, even from the people running the thing. So there's no way they were going to screw over, cheat, or do anything negative to a guy who built the station. I mean, what kind of people is that? Nobody would do that. Nobody would screw over somebody who built the station, does not have any felonies, and has been the face of the station for this many years. So I just want to get that out of the way.
Well, they did want you to do some extra things and stay on.
At least he remembers the story.
This will be part of the
I'll get to that. I'll kiss up to myself in a minute. But in fact, Alicia got mad about 3 years ago. There was some meeting, and they wanted all of us to do more social profiles and do all this stuff on the internet. So I stood up and I said, fellas, I just want to do another year, and then I'm leaving, right? And because I don't want to do any of this other crap. Can you just and
all the social media?
Yeah. So Alicia goes, "Why did you tip your hand?" and all that stuff. So anyway, I'm just to finish because I had a couple of good friends who. Whatever the media says, fine, these are all my friends, and hey, you got to do your story or you got to do whatever you want. But nobody was caught off guard. As soon as they signed Papa to do 49ers, there had to be rearrangements. God, did I know they're going to do this much rearrangements? No. But they said, hey, we'll up for as long as you want. They want to give me another deal to do, every week you'd come on as a guest on different shows and this and that.
Podcast.
Yeah, one podcast. And then let me again go back to money for a hell of a lot less money. But anyway,
get me my money. Laid out.
What do you got there, Mike? Get me my money. Exactly. Well, no. But when you're done, you're done. But believe me, and I'm going to repeat this again, nobody, who built the station, who has always been, whenever they needed me for banquets or anything, was always there. Nobody was going to treat me poorly. You'd have to be the whatever to treat somebody like that, So believe me, these guys are all right. Everybody's doing what they got to do. But the point being, we thought about it for about maybe 30 seconds about Alicia and I, and she says, hey, baby, when you're done, huh?
Well, you take a little break. Relax. You've been working hard for a long time.
Yeah.
30 plus on TV, 26 plus on radio.
Yeah.
So.
And later, then we're going to be laughing until then noontime. I'll tell you, a couple more things of seriousness. So, when the time is right and you've done your thing, and listen, that's why you left the TV. Well, you ever watch local TV? It's either. And it's just different. It's been different for 10 years when I was on it, too. So it's not like I'm saying I left. But it's either now young kids or older guys having to hang on because they're trying to pay for their house. And it doesn't mean bad, good, or indifferent, but that's how it is. And if you can get somebody, a twofer, to do one thing and the other thing, I don't blame these guys one bit. I don't blame them one bit for saying, why don't we work out something now with football coming up. So, hey, I feel terrific. And what we built here, we started a lot of things, a lot of firsts. We'll have some fun as we go. But thanks to everybody. I can't believe the amount of texts and emails and all that. And the only time it would bother me is if somebody didn't quite get it. And they'd say, KNBR, whoever these guys are, they treated Radnich poorly. They did this to Radnich, and Radnich built the station, and now look. Just listen to me. You think I'm one step ahead of all these guys, and I knew exactly what was going on. You think I'm going to let one of these guys? Like I said, TV paid for my houses and my kids' education. KNBR, fabulous, had my best times here. They paid for the cars. So everything is cool. Everything is fantastic. And now, probably the best guy, I'm telling you, Larry tremendously. We had a good little run at the end. But I think Tony and I keep saying 17 years, but I don't know. Mike, you have the theme music probably when we come back. Let's bring in, and for a lot of laughs and a lot of fun, and what do you want? At least he keeps saying, we have a couple guys called me up. They want to do podcasts, and they want to
reboot with Tony.
Yeah. We had a guy from Yahoo that says, "I want you to come on. I'll pay you this amount of money." I said, "No. Let me. I'm going to rest for a while. But if we ever do come back,
but
no, I'll do.
Tony's the one you want to come back with if you ever do.
You want to know the truth? I'll do the Yahoo. If after a year, if I really my ego's so juiced up. I'll do a year with you on Yahoo because you're good looking. Tony has to be only on a podcast. You know what I mean? Go. Only on a podcast. The fabulous Bruno is next on the Sports Leader.
This is our fond farewell to Gary Radnich before he goes home and grabs himself.
Hi, I'm holding myself with one hand and tweeting with the other.
On KNBR 680, the Sports Leader.
Hi. John Henry with the Henry Union Square Hotel in the heart of San Francisco. Wondering if there's anything to do this summer in the city? Do you like festivals? Here are a few that might whet your appetite. There's the Soy and Tofu Festival in Japantown at the end of June. Enjoy a beer? There's the annual Beer Fest at Fort Mason. Awesome food trucks and over 200 beers on hand. This is one festival where you're better in the good hands of Uber, not Allstate. Don't forget Outside Lands at Golden Gate Park. Incredible music, food, and headliners that include Paul Simon and 21 Pilots. There's the annual Pride Weekend, and if you're into wild floats and costumes, this parade makes Mardi Gras boring. What isn't boring is the KNBR package at the Henry. You'll get a deluxe room with parking and 20% off at the Daily Grill. Call now 800-995-HUSH. That's 800-995-HUSH and have a festive time in the city.
From the Toyota Fan Zone, wouldn't it be nice to win?
A family 4-pack of tickets to the San Jose Earthquakes vs. LA Galaxy, presented by Sutter Health on Saturday, June 28th at Stanford Stadium. Be calling number 7 now to 415-896-KNBR to win this 4-pack of tickets furnished by the Quakes. Enjoy the Bay Area's largest firework display after the match. Tickets available at sjearthquakes.com. From the Toyota Fan Zone, Toyota, let's go places.
Okay, wait. Now, wait a little longer. Great! You may have just saved yourself thousands of dollars. That's part of how Social Security can work for you. The longer you wait, the more money you get. Well, waiting to take Social Security may not be for everyone. Deciding when to start taking Social Security benefits will be one of the most important decisions you make regarding your retirement. David Hollander at the Liberty Group LLC has a complimentary Social Security evaluation that includes top strategies for maximizing your Social Security benefits. Get yours today by calling 866-PROTECT. Call right now. This is a limited time offer for the first 10 callers, so be sure you call right now. 866-PROTECT. You've spent decades paying into Social Security. Now maximize what comes out. Call 1-866-PROTECT and schedule your complimentary Social Security evaluation today.
Investment advisory services offered through Liberty Wealth Management, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through Liberty Group, LLC, member FINRA, SIPC. Insurance license number 0D10261.
Giants Baseball on KNBR is sponsored by your California Ford dealers. Visit buyfordnow.com.
Mike, the theme music again, if you would, please. He is America's #1 sports radio personality. And for my last show, this is such an honor. We're not just going to our audience. We are going around the world. Spencer, what's the name of that thing that Tony's on now that he goes around the world?
Twitch.
Twitch. Do you listen to Twitch at all, or what is it?
No.
All right, let's bring in the fabulous Bruno. Tony, how many countries are we in right now?
I think we're in all 57 states and I believe 700 continents. There's some of the continents that you may not have seen or gotten to yet, Gary, but trust me, they're out there. And people who have if you have internet, you can get the show. You don't need to have the big dishes. You don't need to have any of that stuff, Gary.
Well, I just want to tell you, if like in the old days when we'd go out and pick up chicks, I want you none of those stories because Alicia is here in studio.
Hi, Tony.
How are you, Alicia? Do I congratulate Alicia now, or do I feel sorry for her because now she's going to be stuck with Gary at home?
I got him full time.
Tony,
no, I'm recruiting him for drop off. Tony, don't worry. I'll put him to good use.
Tony, Alicia and I have been together 23 years. Why the hell you think I worked the last 15? But that's another story. But now I'm going to find out if she really loves me. You know what I mean? Now we'll find out when she's looking at me all day long. That's going to be tough, because before...
You'll be put to work, don't worry.
No, she said, especially when we were first dating, he's so dashing. Look at him on TV. Now I'm a semi-battered performer, Tone,
Yeah, it happens to all of us. And, I was talking to you the other night, and that battered performer, I got that from you, Gary. And, again, it's not denouncing anybody, but, when you see people on TV you grow up with, or you go to a concert and it's a performer who's been around forever, and then you look up and you say, wow, that's a battered performer. Right?
No, that's why I'll stay home, I guess. But you know what's funny about it, Toe, when you said you stole that from me, you're actually the first guy. I know Vern was doing his original material. Vern Glenn and Larry never stole from me. It was really great, so it's good to have you steal a little something.
Well, we all have things that we take. A lot of the stuff I say, I've heard other people. So it's not, a lot of the things that people think that I made up. It's not. It's just things that I hear and I like and I say them. Yeah. So I haven't copyrighted anything. I don't have anything on T-shirts yet. But when I do throw my hat in the ring for the nomination, for the Democratic presidential nomination on the next event, I'm going to be out there. By the way, I've already made my – I know we don't do politics, Gary. Marianne Williamson, she's got my vote.
I know, because she was pretty strong last night, Tony. But she doesn't even have 1%. They had too many people on stage. You're watching that last night. Do you agree with the popular wisdom that Kamala Harris stole the show last night?
I don't know. I'm only going to endorse one candidate now. I know it's early.
Yes.
But Marianne Williamson right now, anybody who's into Sedona, patchouli oil, love, joy.
She's full of crap.
Love, not since Don Cornelius said love, peace, and soul have I been so inspired by a woman who's just talking about love, everybody loving one another, and going out and having a nice sandwich or something and sitting in Sedona and feeling the vortexes, Gary.
Oh, my God. No, those you can say what you want about Trump, but at least that was good TV when he was on the debate. Boy, I tell you.
I just wanted to try to get a Marianne Williamson joke in, Gary. I'm not breaking down a debate. I don't want to hear that here.
I know, but you think our audience, they're waiting for Larry to come back and do the second round of next year's draft. They don't know Marianne Williamson.
Are we breaking down the Giants and the Red Hot A's and what else?
Well, let's break down the Giants. Well, how long are they going to be before they bounce back? It's a shame, but Buster, it can't hit now, and the whole lineup is pretty anemic. Your thoughts?
Well, what happens? We all get up. Are we going to say Buster Posey is now a battered performer at this stage?
Well, I mean, if you're in the squad, as you well know, you used to catch. It's hard on your knees. I mean, you had to quit catching and move to first, didn't you?
Absolutely. And then I became a DH in the American League so I can sit on the bench with the manager who doesn't have to make any decisions for 9 years.
Okay. Yeah, in fact, that Pablo Sandoval, I think he's got another year or two if he wanted to DH. But, yeah, it's a rough go here because, they're used to 40,000 fans. Now, you're based out of Philly now. Bryce Harper, who I was, driving people nuts, I kept saying, get Bryce Harper, get Bryce Harper. Giants don't have a drawing card. What do you think? Harper's not, his average isn't that great. He, has some power. Is he worth what they're paying him?
Well, how we've talked about this over the years, Gary. What determines what you're worth? What somebody's willing to pay you. And when you can command all these people throwing money at you, and somebody gives you the highest dollar and you take it, I mean, it's going to happen with Kevin. Is it going to happen with Kevin Durant? Is it going to happen with all these free agents this weekend? Is it going to be about money? Because obviously, the Warriors can offer the most. The Sixers can offer Jimmy Butler the most. And so that's when you find out whether it's about the money, whether it's about winning, or whether it's about what the best deal is out there for me and my family.
Well, let me ask you, you know what I always laugh, though, Tony? I forgot to get that in. I'm retiring to spend more time with my family.
Well, you're the first person who's actually saying it where it actually means something. No. How many people are retired to spend more time with their family, and then a year later they got another job? Now, you're not going to do that, right, guys?
No, but let me tell you, Tony, the reason it doesn't ring with me is that's why everybody got frustrated me, because I did spend my off time with my family. They wanted me here at the TV station sitting there saying, we used to be somebody, but so.
Now, Gary, I want to give a shout-out to people. Johnny, you call him Johnny the Gout Man. He's Johnny X.
Now Johnny the Gout Man was his, he used that as his white name. Now he's back more comfortable. He's Johnny X. He'll be on near the end of the show, Tony.
He's a great man, and we keep in touch on Twitter and Facebook. Great guy, and he's gone through health issues.
My black ass.
Mark Foyer's going through health issues, and he's out there in half.
Yeah, hello to Mark Foyer. I know I visited Mark, and I've been a little slow in my duties because But Mark, love you, man. Keep doing your thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it is. So they'll be on Johnny the Gout Man, and Howard Cosell from Heaven will be appearing. Let me ask you a question about Durant, Tony.
Yes.
Is that if the Warriors out and out make the best offer, I mean, not even close what the other team, what is it, 50-something million, why would he not want to stay here? Go ahead.
I don't know. I mean, I don't, because is New York. New York is obviously the big appeal for a lot of these guys, and the Knicks have been terrible, and the Nets are okay. But it's about New York and L.A., it seems. And that's what the NFL, let's be honest, we talked about this a lot. What does the NBA need to really become dynamic again? The Warriors are great, no doubt about it. But they need the New York team and the L.A. team.
Tony,
Lakers.
I keep saying that, and then people say, New York's not what it used to be. Like Zion will make it happen, in New Orleans. That kid Moran is going to make it happen in Memphis. That these guys are individual brands, and having to be in New York or L.A. doesn't make you anymore.
Well, unfortunately, that's what. But the marketing. Why did LeBron go to the Lakers? He's a big movie producer. He's got a lot of projects out there. He wasn't coming to Philly. They go around and do their due diligence. Yeah. Durant's going to do the same thing. Kawhi's going to do the same thing. I see today that Kawhi says, "Don't worry, he's going to go out and get wined and dined like we all do, guys. You've been wined and dined. We've been down there." To get our great. The last time I was there, I was cleaning bird poop off your Bentley.
He remembers that.
Tony, what's funny about that? Shows you Twitter.
I think you guys might have tweeted about that as well.
Tony, and again, Twitter, and it's part of the game now. We all understand it. If Ron Owens walks by here one more time, no more. Anyway, so Tony, Alicia still laughs to this day. We were looking at your account, and you were breaking down the Philadelphia Eagles, and you got a few responses. You showed yourself cleaning up the bird crap off my Bentley.
You got the Bentley.
2,500 responses. Why is that?
Because people want to see bird poop on a Bentley down at the Fisherman's Wharf in front of Grotto number 8.
Yeah.
And grown men wearing nice clothing, wiping the poop off Gary's car.
Hey, let me do a shout out. You mentioned that to Mike Giraldi. He retired from our old stomp. Babe, that's the one place that we kind of miss.
Yes,
we would go
the
see
great
Mike
Grotto
all the
number
time.
9. Absolutely.
Yes.
I downgraded them to Grotto number 8. I'm sorry.
Always number 9, but that's okay.
Tony, you know how I could tell he was getting ready to retire? He started charging us. Anyway.
Not true, Michael. I know you're listening.
Mike, I'll never forget. You were the greatest. But then that last thing, I came in, I wouldn't have eaten much if you knew you were going to give us a bill. But no, so that was fun, Tony, and all that. I'm trying to think of all the people. Sam Spears horse racing thing.
Ray
Go ahead, Mike. We're fielding
people.
calls, Tone. Hang on. Go ahead.
Yeah, Sam did call, and he wanted to say hello to you guys, and that's about it.
Yeah, okay. Well,
Mike,
Tony.
I know we got a break.
What's up, Tony?
Sorry, I had to do that to get Mike one of my favorites all time.
Tony, we would get that all the time, too, and they'd say, Tony is so respectful of the work people here, and all Gary does is yell at him. Mike, I know we're going to break. What the hell is going on here? Yeah.
I haven't heard that kind of anger since Mike Francesa when the Mets lost yesterday.
Yeah, what is he doing? Now, if I pull a Mike Francesa, Tony, will you promise just shoot me in one leg? I don't want you to kill me, but just, he retired, had a big celebration, all this stuff, and then he came back 3 months later. What's that about?
I don't know. It would be like Boach coming back next year and saying, I need to reboot this thing. I think we got a future ahead here.
Boach, yeah. Very good. Hey, in the next segment, we'll take a quick break, and then we've had a lot of bits through the years, and again, for the younger people who are hanging around through this, Tony Bruno and I, what did we go, Tony? How many years?
17 years, Gary.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I think it was 15. But I just.
All right, what's that too for? It's inflation. We got to account for inflation.
Exactly. And then at the end, Tone, I know you're on Twitch. How many countries are we in right now?
Miss Robin is checking now. She's running the horizontal and vertical portion of the show. Robin wants to say hi to Alicia and Gary too. Say hi, Robin.
Hey guys.
Hey, Robin.
Hi, Robin. We have to get you guys back so we can go out again.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Actually, I'm going to be pulling up the photographs of the Bentley and Tony and Gary being very upset that there's a couple of spots on it, and then Tony volunteering.
Well, you know what's sad,
That's
Robin
a good
and
friend.
Tony? My thing has always been a car. That was my thing to fake it, or not even fake it, but just to. So, like Tony, in college, when I was done with my career and I couldn't play anymore.
That was Ratty's caddy, right?
Exactly. I went out and got a Cadillac. About 10 years ago when, Gary's now, late 50s. Can he do it anymore? We don't know. He's on TV. He's blah, 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 blah. I went out and got a Bentley, and all of a sudden, man, he's doing good. So now, Tony, I got a Mercedes 560, but if people start forgetting, or if I see somebody on the street saying, how you hanging in there, I may go Bentley again, Tone.
So the Bentley's gone?
Yes, about 8 months ago, Alicia said, quit being a jackass.
Tony, we have a daughter at NYU. I'll downgrade my car.
No. Now we are going to get one back. Tony, don't believe her. No, so we just went out. But an S560 is good enough, isn't it, Tone?
Yeah, it's good enough. I mean, I'm driving a Jeep Cherokee, Gary. I'm replacing my own filters, but that's the way the world works. You know what I'm saying?
No, but you're more of a real outdoorsman. You can do anything. You're a guy that can, like Alicia yells at me, you can't fix anything. Tony, you can fix stuff. You can do it all. You know what I mean?
I can fix, but not as well as Richard the Fixer Perry, your buddy out there at UNLV back in the day when you were playing ball coming out of San Jose and dominating.
I'll tell you
UNLV.
what was, Tony, you know when people talk about cheating and all that's going on now? I'm telling you, Vegas back in those days, we really cheated. I mean, it was fantastic. It was fantastic. And like I said, I've told this many times, but I would have guys on the team look at their report cards and go, hey, man, I didn't even know I had this class. So it was, but I was not in that hot tub. What's Larry like to say? Well, who was the guy, the name you always mention?
Richard the Fixer Perry.
Yeah, I know. It was in his hot tub, but Marcus Spears, there was some there was some guy who was prominent in the tub.
Is a writer. Marcus Spears is a basketball writer. I don't think he was in the hot tub.
Okay. Hey, we'll take a quick break, and then we'll come back, and we're going to bring in somebody very close to Kim Kardashian. Tony, you familiar with this?
Ray J?
Close. Same name.
Yeah, that is terrible, though, when you say, how did you make it? You know, I laid next to Ray J. You know, it's just terrible, isn't it?
Actually, no, it's pretty great for her. I mean, look at we all should be as downtrodden as Kim Kardashian.
Okay, let me ask you this. If I said lay next to Ray J and I'll film it and you'll be a billionaire, would you do it?
Absolutely.
Okay, we'll take a quick break. Again, still on the head, we're going to have Kate Scott jump in for a few minutes. Raj Mathai will come on so I want to hear me say he's the best anchor in the market. Pam Moore for a couple of minutes. Mr. Salvador, who Tony, Ralph, and I built this dump, and we'll go with some of our favorite callers as well. But that's all coming up with the fabulous Bruno and the one man who said, Kardashian, put your clothes back on. I'm not interested. You like that, Tony? Oh, Tony's talking to the Twitch audience now. Around the world on these Sports Leader.
One last time, we hear.
Nobody cares. Where'd you grow up, punk? You know all the cheeses? Oh, Mike, stick it up your frickin' ass. Who does that? Who has time?
As we say
goodbye
to the fabulous Gary Radnich on KNBR 680, the Sports Leader.
As a small business owner, when was the last time you considered switching internet providers?
I don't even remember. Running a business keeps me pretty busy.
Let's compare your current provider to Comcast Business. Are you getting fast, reliable internet?
Sometimes.
How about a full suite of innovative services like separate Wi-Fi networks, 4G wireless backup, and advanced voice solutions?
I highly doubt it.
Sounds like your provider doesn't compete. Make the switch to the nation's largest gig speed network now and get an amazing deal. Right now, get fast 25 megabit internet and one voice mobility line for $59.90 per month. Call 1-800-501-6000 today. Comcast Business. Beyond fast.
Offer ends 6/30/19. Restrictions apply. New business customers only. 2-year agreement required. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra, subject to change. Backup limited to up to 8 hours.
Stem Kitchen and Garden, a modern open kitchen restaurant offering a variety of seating options to take advantage of the stunning bay views. Located a block away from the new Chase Center, Stem offers beautiful indoor and outdoor event spaces perfect for booking graduations, weddings, engagement parties, and baby showers. Stem Kitchen and Garden serves delectable seasonal garden-inspired California cuisine. Stem's on-site garden not only provides much of the produce for the restaurant's seasonal menu, but also serves as an outdoor classroom for weekend culinary workshops for kids. Open for lunch, dinner, and happy hour Monday through Friday, and brunch and dinner on Saturdays. Stem is located in the heart of Mission Bay, less than a block away from the new Chase Center. Stem Kitchen and Garden. For more information, go to stemkitchensf.com.
On the Westwood One Podcast Network.
Hey, it's Chris Jericho, 6-time world champion, lead singer of Fozzy, 4-time New York Times best-selling author, and the host of Talk is Jericho. Come hang with me twice a week as I sit down with some of the biggest names in wrestling, music, comedy, paranormal. Listen and subscribe to Talk is Jericho for free on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Westwood One Podcast Network. Everyone's listening.
You're damn right. That's Rick Ross, baby. That's Rick frickin' Ross. Tony, you never got into Rick Ross. Or let me just tease ahead. After the top of the segment with Tony, I'm going to give you some more real talk about how how we got here and built my career, and going to take you back to when I was playing basketball. So it's just some stuff you never heard. And whenever I can say something you haven't heard after all these years, that's a bonus. But we do have the fabulous Bruno. Tony, real quick, you should see the text line coming in. What do you got, Alicia?
Gary and Tony Bruno, great stuff.
Yeah.
Flashback Central with Gary and Tony Bruno, great stuff. And Tony, maybe Tony can put your Christmas lights up this year.
Yeah,
Tony,
Tony,
you want to come visit us in December?
Christmas lights?
Absolutely, yes.
We were actually there. They're farming you out.
We were actually there last holiday season to see Robin's mom in Menlo Park.
Okay.
And then she went out and we saw that we didn't get to see John Handlery, but we didn't get into the city. But we were in Menlo Park and down there, in Atherton.
Tony, can I say one? I could always tell if you were spending the night at John Handlery, all of a sudden he became George Clooney. You know what I mean?
No, because the Beta Breakers.
Thank you.
Our producer Luigi was out there. He ran the Beta Breakers with Robin's mom, and I was wondering whether you were still emceeing the Beta Breakers. You were the official MC for how many years?
Geez, Tony, I hate to tell you, no, I did the Beta Breakers for 10 years on TV, but when I actually had to go out there, no, that was the bridge to bridge run.
Oh, okay. Not the Beta Break, the bridge to bridge.
No, the Beta Breakers, I would have had to stay longer. The bridge to bridge, I said 4, 3, 2, 1, and I was home in 5 minutes. So that was it. Hey, Tone, I just opened a gift there. I want to give a shout out to Brian Murphy and Paul McCaffrey. All right, and Brian every once in a while would think,
Murph and Mac?
Yeah,
Murph and Mac, those guys.
Yeah, they left. We just opened it. They left a nice gift with a microphone. And it says, "What are you driving?" Okay, with legend stuff. All right. But what do you remember? Tony, you weren't a part of when I first started. I was so fascinated that somebody would drive a car with the rims falling off, but they had a cell phone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. No, I remember those days, Gary.
Yeah. So that was the bit. What are you driving? What are you driving? But anyway, the text line has been jumping. So it's nice to know somebody. Remembers. But I got to bring in a guy. Tony, if we said this is in our top 2 or 3 bits that we did together, would you consider Kardashian right up there?
Oh, absolutely, Gary. I mean, when you go over 15, 17, whatever it was, years.
Yeah.
It's pretty hard to break it down to 1, 2, 3. In fact, we may have to put together a catalog and have the best ever bits.
Oh, man.
Sell it, and put it on CD, put it in a book, put it on DVD. Put it on PBS so we can have people break during the middle of it and come back.
Yes.
And then subscribe and keep coming on to the Twitch channel here at Twitch TV. Twitch.tv, Bruno Nation Live, by the way, Gary. That's where I'm on every day if people want to subscribe. You don't even have to pay to join. You just watch it every day. We're on every day, 1 to 4. And you got to come back on the show later, Gary, when you calm down and you get your feet back on the ground. Because Robin says, you should ask Gary if he's going to do a podcast with you.
Well, no, down the road, Tone. In fact, Tone, hang on a second. We got Spencer for a quick review. He knows his father. Spence, do you think your dad will ever appear on Twitch TV?
No.
Oh, well, that's Spencer. But no, Tone, I will be there.
Wait a minute. Twitch, all the kids are on Twitch. It was the original gaming app. That's where the guy Ninja plays Fortnite.
I know it is. Spence, do you play? You hear what Tony said? No.
Yeah.
And you don't use Twitch then?
No.
All right. Well, anyway, let's.
That's bad knowledge right there, Gary. I said earlier before we came on.
Yeah.
We have good knowledge to begin with. Then it became great knowledge.
Yes.
And then we took it all the way up to number 11 with phenomenal knowledge.
Very. And here's a guy with phenomenal. One of the greatest bits we've ever had. And we would ask him. This went on for like 2 years. And we'd ask if Kim Kardashian and this. In fact, this is so long ago. Ray was not married. But we would ask this gentleman, if Kim Kardashian knocked on your door at midnight and said, "You're alone. I'm alone. Can I come in?" Tony, you know what he said?
Yep, he said no.
Yes. Here
No,
he
he
is.
said-
The son of the mom who used to run Lorimar Pictures and Dallas, and one of the all-time nighttime favorites here. People still ask me about the great Ray Woodson. Ray.
Great Ray Woodson.
Gary, I'd still say no.
No, you wouldn't. Wait a minute. Let's get this cleared up. Ray. By the way, Alicia's here, and
Hello, Ray.
She's finally stopped sweating from your wedding, Ray.
Hey, I'm still sweating.
Jeez, I know Alicia gets mad when I say it. I swear to God, I kissed her at the wedding. I thought it was Patrick Ewing. You know what I mean?
It was a hot day, but a beautiful day, Ray.
Tony,
Thank you
did
for
you know
having
that?
us.
I should have gotten some Arizona misters.
Oh, Tony, it was 105 at Ray's wedding.
But it was a dry heat, Gary. It's Arizona. Did you go to Sedona and see Marianne Williamson at least up there?
So I got up to speak. I'll never forget Marianne Williamson, the presidential candidate at 1%. I'll never forget. I'm up there talking to Ray's thing.
From her.
Yeah. Ray, I remember you had me speak at the wedding, and I'm looking out at our friend who's doing a real great job, the great Dan Dibley.
Yes.
And Dan I could just see him in his eyes. I've heard all that crap before. It was not, you know what I mean? Tony, Dan was not responding. At 105.
In a new audience.
Oh, great. How you doing, Ray, though, real quick?
The temperature keeps going up every time you say it. It's going to reach the boiling point of water by the time you're done with it.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'll get rid of you quick. I'm about to go back to local here and leave Twitch myself. But, Ray, always, thought the world of you. Great guy, great class, great knowledge. What did I tell you all the time? If you'd only screamed a little more.
I know. It's okay. I still have my voice.
No, you got it, Ray. You left at the right time. Believe me. It's just you just left at the right time. How'd you like to be on after a Giant game now?
I'm good here in Arizona enjoying family money.
Okay.
I'm okay.
Tony, your last chance to talk to a guy whose mother told Patrick Duffy, taught him how to swim for the original. It was the original Aquaman with Patrick Duffy, right?
Exactly. I believe you're right.
Yeah. And Ray knew Larry Hagman. Remember that? You couldn't talk to Larry Hagman on Tuesday, Ray? Was that it? There was in his Buddhist beliefs, he would not talk on 1 day a week.
He was a complex man, Gary. My mom would just say, he's a piece of work.
Yeah.
But she worked with him, Bruno, how you doing?
I'm good, but I don't have family money, Ray, so I'm not in Arizona. I'm stuck in a basement in South Philadelphia on the street I grew up on.
Hey, Ray, let me say it. Talk about family money. He's around the corner from Charles Barkley in Paradise, Arizona.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Is he really?
Yes. Ray, rub it in and then say goodbye to Tony.
Well, Ray, good to hear your voice again, man. Good to hear your voice.
Good to hear you, too. That was the most fun I ever had on radio. It was out of control, and that's what made it great.
Yeah, well, we loved it, Ray. Hey, no offense with all that family money. Next time I talk to you, get a GD phone that's better. We'll see you, Ray.
Okay. Take care, Gary.
The great Ray Woodson. And, Tony, I want to thank you. People wanted to hear you again, and that was great, man.
No, I'm honored to have been on with you all these great years. You're a legend in the Bay Area. I know you, especially when you went up and picked up your Bay Area Sports Hall of Fame awards. And
I didn't go. That's right.
No, that's the joke. I mean, when you sent
Patrick,
when you sent people out to pick out the,
Patrick picked it up for $200. I had to give Patrick $200 in cab fare. Tony, the best one of all. Some guy texted in and said, "Will you be paying Patrick $200 to come in and do your last show?"
He wanted $250, and Gary said, "No, that's enough." That's my favorite line of all time, Gary. From your Frank Sinatra line. What's the Frank Sinatra line?
Frank Sinatra once saved my life. Shecky Green says Frank Sinatra once saved my life. He told the guy who was beating me up, "That's enough." So there you go. Tony, I love you. You still sound great, and you're number one, baby, when it comes to this medium. You still got your pride. Nobody shoves you around, and you're fantastic.
Well, thank you, Gary. Love to Alicia and the kids, and tell your son to get on Twitch today, or else I'm never coming back out there and putting up the Christmas decorations.
Will do, Tony, right away.
One last time. Will you be on Twitch?
Maybe.
All right. Thank you, Tony. You talked him into it.
Goodbye.
All right, Tony. Hi to Robin. We'll talk to you.
All right, Gary, take care.
That's a fabulous Bruno. No, I love Tony, and he was great. That was so many people wanted us to do shows, and we'll see. But I think I've about had it. I was going to tell something I never talked about. Maybe I won't. I don't want to get too emotional. I've been having so much fun. But people always ask me where you got the style, and I don't know if I want to talk. Let me see if I can talk about this later. I don't want to get too emotional about it. But what, FP? Now all of a sudden you're trying to produce? Huh? Okay, Kate. Well, then in that case, drop everything. We'll get Kate Scott right now or after the break. All right. So we will bring good. It saved me from. Maybe I'll talk to Kate Scott for a few moments, and still Tony Salvador built the thing, and I promised I'd do this after 35 years on the last show, but maybe I won't. All right, we're gonna see because we're having fun here. We will have Kate Scott. Our thing here the last decade, probably at its peak, when Kate, Larry, and myself doing the thing, and Alicia will probably submit how for a time she was annoyed with Kate Scott. And Larry, and my friend Dan Dibley. Alicia will talk about hatred next on the Sports Leader.
Goodbye.
All right.
Goodbye.
That is the fabulous Bruno.
Goodbye.
The Sports Leader.
Goodbye.
That poor little boy. Leave him out of it.
At Team Chevrolet, we believe car buying should be easy, fun, and hassle-free. And our 4th of July sale is the perfect time to experience the advantages of shopping with DGDG. From our one-of-a-kind guest experience, to our no-brainer pricing backed by the most trusted automotive resources in America, to our incredible website where you can view our entire inventory of brand new Chevys online, there's just no reason not to check out DGDG.
Shop online and save.
So don't just take our word for it. Visit our website and see for yourself. Join over 200,000 happy car buyers and discover how easy, fun, and hassle-free car buying can be with DGDG. This is Sean O'Grant. Find new roads at Team Chevrolet in Vallejo. Online at teamchevrolet.com. A proud member of DGDG.
Get our most epic no-brainer deals of the summer during the 4th of July sales event at Team Chevrolet.
Happy summertime.
This is John Feinstein with the CBS Sports Minute. There's no hitter in baseball more dangerous than the Yankees' Giancarlo Stanton when he's healthy. The problem is he's often not healthy, and if you can't get on the field, you aren't very dangerous. The Yankees are now saying that Stanton's latest injury, a strained right knee, will keep him out until August. At least. Stanton had just returned to the lineup last week after a variety of injuries kept him out most of the season. He's played 9 games with 1 home run. He's being paid $26 million this season and has 9 years at an average of $28.5 million a year left on his contract after this season. 2 years ago, Stanton was the National League MVP after hitting 59 homers and driving in 132 runs in Miami. Derek Jeter traded him to New York in a salary dump. The move seemed insane at the time. Maybe, maybe not. Will Stanton ever be totally healthy again? There's no way to know for sure. I'm John Feinstein.
Pros know doing it right means having what you need for any job on hand, so you're spending more time on the job site than away from it. Lowe's does it right by stocking job lot quantities of treated lumber, fencing, and decking, and at the right prices. Get volume savings on your next job at the Pro Desk, and save time by ordering at lowesforpros.com. Have your order delivered or pick up in store. Our dedicated pro loaders will load you up and get you back to the job site where you belong. Do it right for less. Start with Lowe's. See Pro Desk for details, U.S. only.
Who would have thought? Who would have guessed? An energy company helping cars emit less. Making cars lighter is a good place to start. Advanced oils for those hard-working parts. Fuels that go further so drivers pump less. At ExxonMobil, it's what we do best. Efficiency is our driving ambition. It's full speed ahead to produce fewer emissions. Explore more about unexpected energy sources at energyfactor.com. Energy lives here.
Time now for your City National Bank Business and Technology Report. Sponsored by City National Bank. Here's Mark Nieto.
All eyes are on the G20 summit in Osaka, Japan, and specifically tomorrow's meeting between President Trump
and Chinese President Xi Jinping. Although investors are anxious about progress in the ongoing trade war, Wall Street nonetheless wrapped up its best start to a year in more than 2 decades. The markets continue to have the perception that the Federal Reserve is going to lower interest rates soon, despite mixed economic data, and some analysts are urging caution. The Dow is ahead 49 points, the Nasdaq is up 21, and the S&P 500 is plus 10.
Pull out your smartphone and stream KNBR on the TuneIn app. KNBR 6A San Francisco. KSAN HD2 San Mateo. A Cumulus station.
Paulie Mack here, and I've got big news from my friends at Ceremony Ford who want you to kick off the summer with savings. So, right now at Ceremony Ford, you can get an all-new 2018 Ford F-150 for $12,000 off MSRP. Go to Ceremony Ford to drive away with the F-150 you've been looking for. Any new 2018 Ford F-150 in stock at Ceremony Ford for $12,000 off MSRP.
7 of this offer. Example VIN 1FJKF81263. All new 2018 Ford F-150 in stock. Offer ends June 30th, 2019.
I'll tell you, I'm the one objective guy in the building. My God, everybody else is getting a check. Well, it's ridiculous.
How dare we have opinions that are different than your own, that are our own opinions?
I'm just saying, everybody's just sucking up to the Warriors on this. I mean,
no, I'm voicing my opinion, Larry, and just because it's different than yours doesn't mean it's wrong.
If Hunter Pence had
Both of you shut up! I don't want to lose them as friends, all right? Both of you shut the hell up! Both of you shut up! I don't want to lose Tim Roy! I'm not going to lose Fitz!
You already lost
I'm not going to lose St. Jean!
Saint doesn't love you.
Both of you shut up! I'm sick of what you've done to me! I'm not going to sit in the third row when I used to sit courtside because of this crap! Take a break and both of you shut up! On KNBR 680, you'll hear all Warrior games with Tim Roy and Tom when he feels like it on eSports later.
Yeah, thanks to everybody walking by today. But we got a closed set, so to speak. But yeah, no, that was a lot of yelling, and it was fun. Every once in a while, the idea is, God, if people are falling asleep on you, you say, yeah. And then I'm telling you, if the bullpen doesn't, you scream. Then all of a sudden you sit up. Here is a young lady who, as I said, I think the show, the first 8 years when I was on, it was, really peaked because it was something new and they hadn't heard anything like this. And it was, not a hardcore, I'm holding myself offensive line crap. And then a little lull in between as more and more people, started getting into the social media and stuff like that. But when Kate was on with Larry and myself, then it kind of ratings-wise, it was as high as, probably as high as they've ever had here at the station. I could be wrong, but I think that era was pretty good. And then Kate said, what the hell I want to be a third banana for and argue with Larry, I'm going on TV. Here is the great Kate Scott. Kate. That's basically
Gary,
it. Who you kidding?
What a day. That was a great day, Gary. It was a great day.
Yeah. No, that was a lot of fun. And Kate, Alicia's here with me,
I know, and I heard before you went to break something that I never knew before.
Yeah, well, let me set it up, and then Kate
might have not been the biggest fan.
This happened with
on the show.
With
we
Kate.
Can't bury the lead, Gary. We cannot bury the lead.
Okay, I'll get right to the lead. By the way, you did we appreciate you're in Indiana, right?
I am at the Indianapolis International Airport right now, and not just that. You are interrupting, Gary, as you well know, my very important Women's World Cup viewing between France and the United States. But thankfully, Megan Rapinoe, spoiler alert to everybody who's taping this game right now, scored just a minute before I came on. So I could step away for just a minute. That's how much you mean to me, Gary, that I'm stepping away.
Yeah. Well, thanks for shaking the audience. Mike had a tear in his eyes. My director, and now Mike, Kevin, whatever the hell, Rubino, Mike now ignoring me and watching,
They're watching the game.
They use their hands. It's illegal. All right. Kate, though, it was funny. Every time I would come home, it wasn't just you, it was Larry and Dan Dibley. And, you build up a certain whatever you got, And she'd say, why do you let those people insult you? It would drive her Go ahead.
Can I just speak for myself
go
here,
ahead.
please? Kate, I loved
Alicia.
you, Dibs, Larry, off the air. On the air, the jabs, the stealing of your bits, Gary.
Yes,
Not Kate. That was more Dibs and Larry, but I guess I'm not supposed to say that out loud, am I? No, maybe Kate would jab, but Kate, I loved you in person, and that's all that mattered, right? That's it.
Alicia, Kate, I'll tell you what really got Alicia is one day Larry started screaming. She goes, "That's it," because I would scream. But anyway, we had a good run, young lady, and as I told Alicia, you got a little showbiz in you. You knew how to do it right. And hell, I wouldn't want to get up at 4 o'clock. As much as I love Brian and Paulie, I wouldn't want to do that either. It sounds like you're doing something great, and what you want to do.
Things are going well, thanks to you, sir. And I know that we're not supposed to, blow, whatever today. But
you use that term, blowing?
I mean, I learned it from the best, from you, right?
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be here if you hadn't have given me the opportunity to give you a hard time and piss off your wife, and if you wouldn't have said my name about 300 times a show so that everybody followed me on Twitter. Yeah. And I also just, Gare, Alicia, you know this. I learned so much from you. You're such a damn good interviewer, Gary. You're such a great entertainer. And that's why you've been able to be on the radio and the TV for so damn long. That's why you've outlasted so many people because you're just yourself. So I had such a great time working with you, and I learned so much from you. And I still try to use some words that you use, and now that we're not working together, Alicia, now I can.
That's
take a
all
bit of this
good,
stuff, right?
And Kate, I got to admit, and this is no disrespect because Larry kept me going for years, but when the business changed, where long form interviews you just couldn't do it, it's time to leave. When Larry's talking about the offensive line, and I'm just waiting for him to finish.
But Garrett, I know you cared so much about the third string right guard.
But that's
Garrett, I know you did.
Without Larry, I would have been done. I would have been home with Alicia sooner. Hey, thank you, Kate, very much for calling in.
Garrett, I love you. Thanks for having me on. Hope you guys have a fantastic not having to work at radio every day anymore.
Okay.
Rest of the life.
See you, Kate. Thanks.
Love you guys.
Just
love
a real quick thing. I want to bring on this young lady, but I'm going to ask her, tell her that I've been watching her do those giant interviews, right? The great Rennell is coming on for a few moments. And Rennell, how many times can you look interested in what Matt Cain is telling you? How many times?
As long as the paychecks keep coming in, I was so interested and engaged, let me tell you. Gary, I just want to say, you may not remember this, but my last day on the air at KNBR, you called into my show in 1997. You remember that?
You know something?
Yeah, so
now, I don't mean to I'll let you finish. And just limit the sucking. Save it for the giant management, okay?
Of course I will. Of course. But
right.
I needed to reciprocate today, but you called in. It was my last day on KNBR.
Yeah.
And that night there was a party thrown for me that was being hosted by Carolyn Tyler from Channel 7 and Vern Glenn. And you said to me, why didn't I have you host it? Because you were blacker than Vern.
Well, okay, but jeez, we don't need that. We don't need that. That's well, anyway, I think I am, but I'm going to tell you a story from that day. So it was 97, right?
Yeah.
So Alicia and I started dating in 96, so she was still, in fact, you want to hear a good one? I'll tell you about Alicia and I. When we first started, the reason I'm still doing this crap is that Alicia and I first started dating, and about the third date, Alicia goes, I just got to tell you, if you think you're going to be Superfly and just date around with me and a young woman, fine, but I'm telling you, if you want to be serious, because I want to have a family. So, hell, like I said, what do you think I'm still doing this for? She ruined me. I could have retired.
It worked, Rennell. It worked.
Oh, yeah. No. You hear that, though? Isn't that a good one, Rennell? She says, hey, you're not going to be Superfly on my time, Jack. And she saved my life.
That's what us sisters do. She locked it down.
Okay. What, you lock it down? No. But I was going to tell you, so we're looking at some houses. I was going to buy a new house. And I look, oh, hell, I got to call into Rennell's show. So this started about a 5-minute argument. What do you mean? You're interested in Rennell? I said, no, I've got to call.
No.
Yeah, Rennell. Outside of that one night we had, there was never anything long, was there?
Never. It was never like a lengthy relationship.
Yeah. So anyway, Alicia's screaming at me. If you call in, I said, wait, what are you going to do? I'm driving. So I had to find a payphone. In fact, it's a shame. I'm the only guy still looking for a payphone. So Alicia's screaming at me for calling in. So I'm trying to be cool, and she's eavesdropping. If I had said, Renelle, that's why I was a little cold. If I had said I loved you, she would have left me.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I thought he was going to get the house, and then you were going to be living with him. Who knew? Who knew?
All right. Hey, thank you, young lady. And you're still going. You're doing your thing, and you just got a good way about you.
Thank you, Gary. You've had my back from day one, even as far as back as the California Music Channel, if you remember me doing the videos in the afternoon.
Yeah, well, if you hadn't moved on from that, I was about ready to dump you. But it all worked out.
Understood. You're a game changer. I love you. Alicia, love you and the kids. Best of luck to you, Gary.
Okay, thank you very much, Renelle. Hey, let me just tell a story here for a moment while I'm feeling good. Everybody asks where you got your style and, walks in, walks out, all that stuff. Well, first off, the secret is, like even today, we got here early, so I had Spencer on the clock, and he just tell me it's 10:50, it's 10:53, and then you stroll in 2 minutes before. And the only time I ever missed a show was with Dennis. I was having to drive down to a TV show, and there was an oil spill on 880. So, but by the way, Dennis, great. Dennis O'Donnell, who's doing a terrific job on TV, was my early producer, and Dave Gangona, Dave, fabulous. And Vern, of course, a wonderful guy, and Pete Liebengood. All these guys, helped me get rolling. But the style was when I was playing basketball, and I used to be pretty good at it. And hell, I don't feel like. Let's go to Pam Moore. I'll get back to this story later. I just don't want to get. And if I get too emotional, screw you. It's free. If you want to pay me $1,000, I'll come to your house and get emotional. But just to get emotional on KNBR 680, where in 2 weeks it'll be. I told you the Raiders, they got problems, interior line problems. But anyway, go ahead, Pam. You're on KNBR.
Hi, Gary. Hi, Alicia.
Yes.
I love hearing you today. I love hearing everybody remember all of your funny lines and your funny stories. And I'm just...
Yeah, Pam used to listen all the time. Then when Larry and I hooked up, she said, God, I don't want to hear all that crap. Pam, I told you, the business is different now. You need two guys arguing with each other. I can't just say, hey, and then Pam told me this. You have to have intense sports talk competition verbally. All right, go ahead.
Absolutely. Well, no, Gary, I learned so much from you about the business. I really did, all these years that we worked together. And then after you left television, missing you on television doing the sports with us at Crown, and missing you and Alicia doing Email Fridays, which was always a lot of fun. I did listen. I tune in to KNBR to see what you're saying, pop in and out. You call me the fringe sports fan.
Very fringe.
But, as much as we have worked together and everything, as much fun as we've had, I'm your friend, but I am also a fan. I have totally enjoyed watching you do sports all these years, watching how you handle people, how you roll with the punches. And I'm just excited for this next phase for you and the family. I mean, you have a beautiful family, and I know that they are going to be excited to have you around a lot more.
All right. Let me just tell why Pam... her dad was a little under the weather once. I visited him in the hospital, and then Pam fell in love with me. I couldn't shake her after that.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Let's not exaggerate.
Huh? I'm the only guy that knew Frankie Beverly songs inside out. Who you kidding?
That's true. You did know Frank's songs.
All right.
I was so surprised. But anyway, congratulations to you both. Just sending my love. And I hope
what did Alicia do?
You and I go way back too, mister.
Hey, can I tell the story? Let me quick story. So we're having Pam, Alicia interned for Pam, and Pam would give him the notes on, because Pam really wants to help people.
I knew Pam before I knew you.
I want to help people on the air, then I want to go hide. Pam will help you always. So Pam was giving Alicia tips, work hard, do this, do that. And then we had a party, invited people over, and I said to Pam, remember what I said? I grabbed a piece of paper. I said, here's Pam's notes, and I scribbled them all up. I said, here's how you get ahead. Find a lonely white guy who needs a woman, quick.
Oh, gosh.
That's
I've had
how
to
you get
endure this years and years on the radio.
Huh? You ever heard 50
goodness.
Cent? Have a baby by me, be a millionaire? That's exactly right. No. She saved my ass, Pam. I'll tell you that much. I was walking around saying, "Where's the B-roll?" And that wasn't me, you know.
I know, Gary. But you know what? We've had the best time. I have some wonderful memories.
Well, listen, you're still going. That's a testament to you. I've got you and Raj Mathai on my all-current anchor team.
I don't know about Raj, but I still have to pay bills. So.
What's that? Oh, yeah. No. But I'm just saying, you still got to keep going. And, next time when you toss it out to a reporter, if they're 25 years of age, cut them off. They're too old. I'll see you, Pam.
All right, Gary and Alicia. Best wishes. Love you both.
Love you, Pam.
Yeah, no, thank you, Pam. No, that's a real nice woman. And Alicia and Pam are friends and the whole thing. It's a great, great deal. But growing up, you'll have to check the San Jose Mercury archives for this stuff. But all started there. I was a good player of note. And, Mike's laughing. I just hate it. I never talked about this. But, shoot. And I was one of these guys who was good at age 15, as good at 15 as he was at 22. I was just like out of the blocks. I was good, and people recruit you and across the country. That's one thing I always admired about my dad is, the recruiters come in, you hear these stories, I want some money, that's a different time, and I wasn't that good. But they would come in, and my dad would say, no, we're not going out with them. We'll invite them to the house because you never want to owe somebody. If you don't go to the school and you had a couple of dinners with them or they gave you some stuff on it, you never want to. And I wasn't that good. I was good enough, but I wasn't 7 feet. That's why Mike's heard this 100 times. But that one time the coach screamed at me, you're the, he goes, you're acting like you're a 7-foot guy, And anyway, that's another story. But so I was always trained. I'm sidetracking here, trying to get emotionally up for this last thing. But I was always, my dad told me from the beginning, he would say, always talk to the guy who counts, all right? No matter how it turns out, like I'd say, hey, Dad, the assistant coach said I had a good day at practice. He said, fine, what'd the head coach do? Here, they'd have all these guys who run through, hey, so-and-so said I had a pretty good show. Yeah, good. What did Salvador say? And even here, I got to talk to the guy who counts at the end, and it made all the difference in the world, because my dad would have killed me if I talked to the middle guy. So I talked to the head of the company back, and we worked. Anyway, that's a side story. But when I was anyway, so what we'll do? Who's coming next? And well, everybody's gonna think I'm doing.
We've got Salvador. We've got Mr. C in heaven.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil that. Anyway, I was born.
Marianne Williamson would say, "Take a deep breath."
No. Missing a couple fingers. And I was still, a good player. And I'll get back to it. I'm just telling I never told this story on air. But people would, that's how and Joe and Livermore, some of these poor guys rip you and some, you suck in this. I've been hearing it since I was 15. But when I was a good player, I would hear that just over and over again. And then I get 30 points and tell them to go F themselves. But that's the point, then I got to college and I'd say, go F yourself. And then the coach would say, no, go F you too. You're not that good. And then the thing would end. But my point is that that's where I got the style. And I hated people. That was it. I didn't want to be known as a guy who that was it. And in basketball, especially in high school when I was dominant, and again, you got to go back to this. How are you going to trace it? Go back to the San Jose Mercury archives. You can see it. But I was like Central Coast this and Player of the Year this and California Magazine, All-State, and then All-America. I was on a couple teams, and I kept talking about it enough you thought I was on every one of them. But the point being is that's where the whole thing started. I said, hey, I don't want to be known as that when you're 15, or actually I was 14 over Christmas one time. And they had a big story because I wouldn't talk to the media on stuff like that. I don't talk about this stuff. And my dad, and back in those days, high school sports was a big deal. Now it's, Mitch Stevens or what's his name, Matt, whatever the hell is Stevens, does a nice job. But back in those days, there weren't all the sports, so they'd write about high school. So I said, I'm going to do something so people either they say, hey, this guy's a jackass, or man, is he fancy, or man, is he flashy, before they would go to the other thing. And so that's where it all began. And everybody would try and, talk to you and promote you. And, people would want to write stories about that. But I just never, I said, listen, you want to do a story on me? And I've had real good luck with the media through the years. I've had some really, Ann Killian, I think Ann got mad because Larry said something. I haven't heard from her, but she still wrote the greatest article on me once. I've had everything written, this stuff now, the blogs, they're all guys trying, nice guys. Heck, I got a kick out of Richie, but Richie got mad at me because I couldn't talk to him anymore. Because when my son was born, I said, Rich, I don't have time for this. I can't. And all the different guys that blog, there are two guys that did a real, that's how I did the show, I sidetracked for a moment. But the LOL KNBR guy in yellow, I never met him, but he wrote something about me finishing up, and he hit it just right. I don't know if you can find it, but this guy had the epitome of what I did. And same with Peter Hartlaub of the Chronicle. Hit it right on. And Bruce Jenkins is cool, too. Thank you, Bruce, for everything. Guys who kind of read between the... He didn't know who the offensive lineman was. Trust me, I knew most of the offensive linemen. I got a computer in front of me. But if you got me and Larry doing it together, God, what a bore. So you let Larry do that, and I did my thing. But anyway, so I just never wanted to be bothered with it's not authority, but I just didn't want to have, like when they have station pictures, I'm going to control my environment. You want me to, hey, let's all put our hands up and wave like, hey, it's the dream team. And nobody's being funny. I mean, they're not trying to make you feel bad. So it was important to me to control my own environment all the way. And you think I'm going to let, like I said, I don't know if I said at the beginning, I know exactly what's going on. One step ahead of these guys have been fired 5 times. I know exactly what's happening. So that was my thing, was to control the environment in which I worked. And I wanted to walk in and walk out. If we need to work a 16-hour day on TV and travel somewhere, didn't like the traveling, but I'd go. So it wasn't like I didn't take authority or anything. Of course I did, if it was something worthwhile. But if you just wanted to sit around and have a meeting, meet with somebody, then call me at home when you're ready to work. So that was my thing, is I just had so many people when you're earlier, and not using you, but just, people talking and, hey, young man, you're in the 5th grade. Young man, your athletic talent's going to take you somewhere, and nobody's going to. I would look at these teachers. I say, don't worry about it. I got a mother and a father. I don't need you to, pat me on the back and tell me I'm going to be somebody. And that's basically it. The whole thing came from that. And like I said, I like to talk, ringing in my ears, my dad. Talk to the guy who counts. Because the middle guys are just doing what they're told to do. And my dad said, and if they can screw you to make themselves look good, they'll screw you. But you make sure you talk to the guy who counts. And that's why this KNBR thing worked out so well, because I talked to the guy who counts. And everything is cool. And, it's just, it's been good. But that's basically it. I never talked about it. I said I'll do it at the end. But for people who say, God, Gary, he's a nice guy, but I don't know him very well. Well, that's the thing. You develop that early in life, and you read enough stuff. It was never negative. I mean, these guys always complimentary, but I didn't want to go through life talking about it, and I didn't want to go through life where that was the number one thing about you. So that's why you tried to be funny. That's why you throw the ball between your legs. That's why when the Vegas guy goes, you're not going pro, you hold a press conference and go out and play Bobby Riggs shooting free throws. So you go out under your own terms and your own environment. That's why I wanted to come in here today, because I want to control my own environment. The guy's very nice. We'll call up this guy. We'll do that guy. I said, no, just give me FP and Mike's number, and we'll do it ourselves. And even FP saying, geez, I never heard him help me with guests or produce anything before. No, I didn't feel like it. So anyway, speaking of talking to the main guy, the guy who hired me is coming on. And we're going to, Mr. Salvador for a couple minutes, and then we're going to have the guys who I enjoy the show so much, some of these guests right at the end here, some of the callers. And I've said this, and people said, you're full of it. But I swear to God, if you said you got a chance, to have Barry Bonds phone in or Johnny the Gout Man or, Howard Cosell from heaven, on my late mother's grave, I would take Johnny the Gout Man and the callers. Anybody, can you hear these guys and whenever they want to pitch something, and athletes don't talk anymore anyway. That's why I was lucky. We had a great TV show. That's what I was best at. And, nowadays we have to pay everybody just to belch, and it's worked out fine. So we'll take a break, bring in Mr. Salvador for a couple minutes, and I'll tell you another quick secret as I'm thinking all this stuff. Next time, babe, get the teleprompter out here. So good. I could come back as a news anchor if I could read better.
It was wonderful.
The best one, though, is I won't tell you who, but really great talent, but just reading off the prompter. He was reading basketball highlights that somebody had written. The hockey match was on for 30 minutes, and he's going, great pass from Charles Oakley, and you're seeing hockey being played. So, I mean, then when you do it that way, it's better. But, after my dad passed away, even on the TV, right when NBC was going to Cron, I thought, maybe just do the radio and all that. And because, I knew it was going to be on. And then I had to change my style for that, too. You went from a real sportscaster to more of a personality. And,
reinvented yourself.
Well, yeah, you really did. And plus, Alicia and I were, I was in love with this little girl. And it was 2002, so I had to work a little bit longer. And the station Lisa and I got a place in L.A. I was so broken up. We'd go down there on the weekends and stay because I just said, this is not going to work. Cron without NBC. All the things that I did are being taken away. So we'd go down. We lived in L.A. on weekends. And, I thought, what the hell are we going to do? Anyway, make a long story short, that's where the style at the end. I know some people would say, Jesus, this guy's not a sportscaster. He's talking. Well, there had no sports on the station. And the sad part about it is, when we had no sports on the station, I made more money than I made when there were sports on the station.
Vamping paid off.
And they would give me all this time, and they'd say, it's not that you're that good, but we'd like to keep the other people off the air, so it all turned out nice. But when my mom and dad, I know I'm rambling, but I just all stuff I said at the end. But when my dad passed, wasn't the same for me because I played the audience when I was playing ball. And I'm telling Lisa the story. Somehow, some way, I was young. I stole the ball from Nate Archibald, went down and missed the layup. I didn't look at the coach. I looked at my dad and laughed, and he laughed back. So that's who I love. I mean, and then when my mom passed, then it took a little. I don't want to make a big deal out of this. Everybody goes through this, but it kind of took the steam out of Larry. Offensive line, your thoughts? You know what I mean? Because you didn't have your number one audience person there. And you're getting a little older, and like I said, the Raiders have some adjustments to make. We'll talk about it next with Tony Salvador for a couple of quick minutes, and then these great callers are coming on, and we'll leave it with these words for this segment. I really think Giants are going to have a hard time replacing Mad Bum as an ace on the Sports Leader.
Ready to go right now. Before the Mercedes and even the Bentley, there was Ratty's Caddy. This is One Last Ride with Gary Radnich on KNBR 680, the Sports Leader.
Right now at T-Mobile, get an awesome iPhone XR on us when you bring your family over and trade in your old device. Because whether you have mom, dad, or a friend on your mind, it's a gift so bold and brilliant, you'll want to keep it for yourself. And most importantly, it's on us in 6 vibrant colors. Plus, with unlimited everything from T-Mobile, the awesome iPhone XR will have everyone snapping, streaming, and sharing to their heart's content all year long. But don't wait, it's only for a limited time. So visit a store or call 1-800-T-Mobile and get iPhone XR on us.
If congested, customers using more than 50 gigs per month may notice reduced speeds due to prioritization. Video at 480p via 24 monthly bill credits for well-qualified customers plus tax. Qualifying trade-in, port-in, service, and finance agreement required. Contact us before canceling or credit stop and remaining balance due. 64 gigs, 0 down plus $31.25 per month for 24 months. Pre-credit price $749.99, 0% APR. One offer per account.
Major League Soccer's greatest rivalry returns to Stanford Stadium on Saturday, June 29th, when Chris Wondolowski and the San Jose Earthquakes take on Zlatan Ibrahimovic and the LA Galaxy, presented by Sutter Health. Fans are encouraged to arrive early for pregame festivities, including live music, a beer garden, and more. Stick around after the match to witness the Bay Area's largest firework display to celebrate the 4th of July. Visit sjearthquakes.com to secure your seat today.
O'Reilly. If your vehicle isn't stopping like it used to, visit O'Reilly Auto Parts for a set of Brake Best Select brake pads and 2 Brake Best Select rotors. And you'll receive a $25 O'Reilly gift card by mail. Enjoy quiet, safe, worry-free braking. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. You do it right to save because you work too hard for your money not to. Lowe's is here to help with July 4th savings throughout the store, like $15 off gallon cans and $45 off 5-gallon pails via Lowe's gift card rebate when you buy select interior and exterior paint and stain. Update your appliances and get up to 40% off select appliance special values, like a Whirlpool refrigerator was $13.99, now just $9.99. This July 4th, do it right for less. Start with Lowe's. Offers valid through 7/10 while supplies last, U.S. only.
Before the BBQs, before the fireworks, visit your Northern California Honda dealers before July 4 sales event.
Scott in Sunnyvale, real quick, Scott, you're on KNBR. Just put him on for 30 seconds. Mike, okay, screw the Lake'll will buy the station, and you're the first guy that's out, Mike. Hey, Mike, stick it up your rear end.
Hey, be careful what you
it's
put
not Obama calling in. It's frickin' Bags. You guys all relax in there. You really think, Bags can't wait. Bags will frickin' wait for his $25. God, will you relax?
$150, Gary.
One more quick, and then
Lee Hammer says no.
Oh, stop it, Mike! You robot! Mike, you are such a suck ass. Oh, Mike, if you yell Pavelski, I'm going to come through the glass. Let him wait. Oh, Mike, stick it up your frickin' ass. Mike, can you put your bracket up your ass for a minute and produce the show? Hey, Mike, kiss my ass. Will you quit wrapping me up for 30 seconds? Oh, man, Mike.
Gary.
That's great.
I know we got Tony on hold, but we can't get through this without I just have to thank you.
Go ahead.
14 years. 14 years I've been running your show. I've had the honor.
Yeah.
And, I mean, hell, it's more than half your tenure here.
You know when you really be thanking me? In about 5 months.
Oh.
Anyway.
Well, Gary, seriously, for everything.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you for everything.
Well, hey, Mike, you know I do love you. And by the way, if you're done, bring the frickin' bike back. And, No, Mike got his bike stolen. You know what the worst one is, and I should have brought it up, I forgot, is when Tony Bruno, Mike, do you remember this? And they wanted to honor Tony because I think it was something with a puck at the Sharks, and I don't want to do any of that. That's not my thing. But Tony was going to drop the puck, and I said, I was kind of kidding him. He says, well, I'm in L.A. I said, Tony, I'll tell you what. I'll even pay for your airfare to come down. I thought, Mike, who ended up paying for his airfare?
I believe you did.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. Now you figure that Tony said, oh, no. He called my bluff, and I had to... Lisa's going, what are you doing? I said, I got to go down, and we got to send Tony. I got to buy a plane ticket, send it anyway. Hey, here's a guy who made it so I could play around where I didn't have to stay on the clock, and he was the boss. In those days when he told you something, I'll tell you another one. I know I keep mentioning about money, but he shifted when we shifted my time once, I never mentioned this to you, but the son of a gun, well, hell, it was money, but it was going to be about $100,000 less to do what I was doing. He said, no, keep it at that. What the hell? You know, this guy is just one in a million. The great Tony. Now for 5 cents, we have to have a meeting. Deb, the engineer. Deb, put Deb on. Okay, Deb, listen to me and listen to me good. I've talked. Yeah, here is Deb, the engineer, and then we're going to bring in my frickin' radio hero. Deb, listen to me. Deb is our head engineer. You listen to me?
Yeah.
I've talked to you 3 times in 10 years. If you think I'm waiting for you after the show for a hug, I'm frickin' out the door. If I'm not in the car at 1:05, you'll be still trying to get Lamont and Tonelli to know what your name is. All right, so this is it. Deb, love you. Anything you want to say to me now?
No, I'm going to miss you. I'm going to miss you at the Christmas party, and I'll miss Alicia.
Oh, I'll be sure and come back for the Christmas party. Yeah, in fact, I'm going to dance with you and Jeremiah. It'll be great.
I know.
Yeah. All right, but Deb, you've been real sweet. And remember when you had your daughter come out to fix our refrigerator?
Oh, yeah, her company. Uh-huh.
We're waiting for her to come back and fix it again. So thank you. Hey, Deb, anyway, real sweet, because when it hits 105, I don't want to blow my old image. I'll be passing... I'll be driving down the Media Gulch, seeing old anchors talk to themselves and say, "How do I get out of here with a severance?" That's what I'll be doing.
I'll have the door open for you on the parking lot.
All right, thank you, Deb.
Okay.
Peace, love, and this is it. Okay, thank you, Deb. All right, I know everybody know Deb is a real sweet person, and she's the type that would wait for you and say, "I'll walk you to your car." Deb, it's an emotional day. I don't need any more. Even Larry was going to hang around, and I said, "No, Larry, this is it." All right, let's bring in the man who let me yell, let me scream, let me go overtime. The only thing he didn't let me do is call Ray Woodson by his real name. Here is Tony Salvador. Tony would call me in. No, then I'm done. Tony, and like I said, like my dad said, if it's the guy who counts, let him say anything to you. And honest to God, Tony could say anything to me, and it didn't bother me. If you're in the middle, I'll look for the quickest exit and sneak out. But if it's Tony, how many guys have you ever seen me go to lunch with?
How about none? In fact, Gary, I've got a great story about this. This is about 10, 12 years ago, okay? I'm at Original Joe's with a bunch of friends of mine, and in walks Pam Moore.
Right.
And there's some woman behind her that they're having lunch together. Okay? And I didn't recognize this woman. But, of course, I know Pam through you and whatever. "Oh, Pam, how are you?" I introduce her to all of my friends, the whole deal. And, she says hello very nicely, and they go and they sit at a table a few seats away from us. As it turns out, I come to realize, who the friend was that I was basically just blowing off? Kamala Harris.
Well, no, she was strong.
She was like the district attorney of the city then. I didn't even know who the hell she was, for Christ's sake.
Tony, at your station.
All over Pam.
That is so funny. And when Pam was surprised that we went out, though, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yes. And in fact, she said to me, "Tony, I am absolutely shocked." Now, she got me kind of to the side after I talked to, introduced her. She said, "I'm actually shocked." And I said, "About what?" She said, "You actually have lunch with Gary?" And I went, yeah. About once every 3-4 months. I mean, it's not like we go every week, but, once every 4 or 5 months, I take him across the street to Julio's joint,
Yeah.
And she went, this is just unbelievable. I couldn't believe it. She was so shocked that you and I had lunch every now and then.
No, I believe me, if Alicia hadn't come along, I would have had lunch with her. But once I found Alicia, no time. Anyway.
Well, that I don't blame you.
Let me tell you quick. Tony, you been listening this morning?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. No, we had Ray Woodson on for a moment. And I
heard him.
No, it was whatever it is. But Tony, and I like to have all the different guys on in the studio. In fact, hell, we just had Deb ate up 3 minutes. Tony, it's better I do with Deb on air than have her walk me to the car, is it not?
Right.
So Tony, I think he did it twice, would call me in if the ratings are usually okay. If they were down a little bit, he'd say, "You gonna freaking let Ray Woodson kill your career? Go home and tell your wife, sorry, the ratings are terrible. You got to go because you want to be nice to everybody." And then I'm going to tell you, Tony, and again, the whole thing, if somebody wants to make a move, they got to call headquarters in New York or Atlanta now. But Tony used to run the thing. And one day we're coming out, and I don't know what happened, and I didn't care when they do the sports updates. I would, the hell I care. Just you're rehashing something that everybody knows, but it keeps another guy on, and everybody had money then. They didn't care. Ray led with the Kansas City Royals instead of the Giants game. And I'm walking in. So we're walking out, and Tony's waiting. And he, and again, I know Tony had respect for Ray, but he just went off on Ray, you're leading with a Kansas City road. Bah, bah, bah. Good, you'll be on the next bus to Kansas City. Bah. And I try and jump in. I said, Tony, that wasn't his fault. Shut up, Gary. This is between me and Woodson. But anyway. Tony, we had a lot of laughs, and you were the guy.
We had a lot of laughs. Look, Gary, I'm telling you something. I feel very, very privileged in the fact that, first of all, that I got to do this job for as long as I did. I mean, this kid from upstate New York, without much of an education. I'm telling you, I had so much fun doing that job, and a large part of it was having you there with us. It was just terrific. And although, Gary, now you know who we haven't brought up, or you haven't brought up?
Go ahead.
Your favorite guy ever on the radio on KNBR.
I know, Mark from Millbrae.
No. Yes, Mark.
In fact, if he's out there, Mark, somewhere we couldn't find him, so he probably, unfortunately, got a job. Go ahead, Tony.
No. The King.
Oh, Pete, you know something? You're right. Tony, do you remember that before it ended up about a month, but the TV, Amy McCombs, who, I was so lucky, like I said, I had two people. There's so many changes. Everybody's working for somebody else. And, Tony, I got to tell you, every time a new TV guy would come in and they didn't know my rhythm, where are you going? I'm going home to eat. and you know what I mean? Do you hear the Carmen Policy story?
Yeah, I did.
Guy wanted me to sit in a chair, and he said, you want $500,000, you're going to have to sit in a chair to get a severance. I said, screw you, and left.
It wasn't worth $100,000.
No, my wife she cooks good lasagna. I went home. But the point is with Tony, you're the one who started the walk in and walk out, because said, Tony, you're going to kill me here. I'm on TV all night. Just come in, do the thing. But back to Franklin, Tony said we were trying to get on there, and Tony had to negotiate with the TV station, and this wonderful woman, Amy McCombs, who she was the same thing, just like Tony. They'd say, hey.
She was fabulous.
Oh, well, I mean, with me, Tony, I don't know how she probably tried to screw you out of a nickel. But the point is I never heard you say fabulous. But we were the first ones to put radio on TV anywhere. I think Stern was just starting, but it wasn't like a talk show. He was, bringing in guests, and he had some of the topless women stuff. But you know that, Tony? We were the first.
What the hell was the name of that thing? I don't even remember it now. Bay TV. That's it. The lamented Bay TV. Yes, I do remember.
Yeah, and we were the first ones to go on anywhere in the country with that. And now, it's cheap labor. You get every show. In fact, we're being streamed today, and I can see it now. Once this guy leaves, hell, we'll stream every show. Oh, yeah. We can hire a cameraman now. He doesn't need new shoes.
Exactly.
But Tony, but you're the guy who started the walk in and walk out. You said, just get in here and be halfway decent. If you're not, And
you know what it was, Gary?
Go ahead.
It was the talent that took it all the way. You know what I mean? I've had guys that worked for me who wanted to sit around in my office and shoot the baloney and the whole deal. You know what? It's all about talent.
Yeah.
And you had it, brother, 100%.
You know what the problem is now, Tone? The talent's taking it all the way, too. But anyway. No. But and you don't even remember. And I swear to you, this is true. People, about the first 2 years, I didn't even sign anything because I trusted you.
No, you're right.
You remember that?
We didn't. Yeah, no, exactly. In fact,
I didn't even know. And by the way, I've never told you. You were great on the one thing, but boy, did you underpay me. You thought that trip you paid for my family to Hawaii was going to cover it. But anyway, the trade out. No, but Tony, I trusted him so much. In fact, I trust, that was my problem. I'd handshake with everybody, and I believed him. And boy, did that come back to bite me, Tony.
Well, in the end, it could.
No, Tony, let me just tell you one. Alicia on the contracts, she always said I was. She said, "Boy, are you stupid?"
Very trusting. I said, "Honey, those good old-fashioned handshaking days are over."
Yeah.
Yes,
if somebody says you're going to be here 4 years, 5 years, but hey, anyway, what the hell? I'm still with my head high. But Tony, thanks for everything, man. Everything.
Great, man. You guys are the best. Alicia, you guys are going to – I don't know how the hell you're going to put up with this guy.
Well, listen, Tony, I will manage, but Gary has always just had such tremendous respect for you, almost like, as close, as highly as he thinks of his father. He has had that much respect for you, always.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that, and I really take that to heart. I'm telling you, Gary and I have had a lot of conversations about his dad.
Absolutely.
And I never met his dad, but I love the guy just from everything that Gary has always told me about him. So, and I feel the same way about Gary. I'm telling you.
Yep.
It's been a great run, my friend. And,
Tone, I got to say, you did spoil it, though. Remember when a guy came in named Bill? And he would say, Gary, I have a vision. I have a vision. No, I was so used to dealing with guys on a handshake and something like this. And Bill said, I have a vision. Let's go out to lunch. I said, Bill, any way you can put your vision in an email. I'll see you, Tone. Thanks for everything.
Love you, Gary. Love you, Alicia.
Take care, Tony. We love you.
All right. Thank you. The best anchor in the market. Just real quick, Raj, we're running out of time, but I wanted to have you on. I'm going to tell you, what's that investigative unit team you have where you guys pretend you're helping people? What's it called?
We got a bunch of great reporters.
No, I know. They're terrific. The cheapest money can buy. What's it called, Raj?
The investigative unit.
I'm going to tell you, I will come out of retirement for the investigative unit, all right?
You got to. We got to get you out. You can't stay at home. You're too valuable. And all these callers and all this talk about, all these past 30 years, which was awesome, but you still got life and juice in you. So we'll figure it out. Alicia, you want to hammer out a deal?
I agree with you on that, Raj. I totally agree with you on that.
And I'll tell you what, Raj, I will work if you...
NBC for a quick spin.
What's that?
Let's bring it back to NBC as soon as you get bored at home, and I'll work it out with Alicia.
No, you got power over there, Raj. You're one of the last guys with any power. I'll tell you, I'll work for the investigative unit. There's nothing I'd like to do. It's just hide in a van for 8 hours, then jump out and try and bust some guy without teeth. It'll be great.
Well, you can hide in the van and scratch yourself.
No, Raj, just the best thing with Raj and I, Raj every once in a while breaks out if he wants to make himself look young and vibrant. Is a picture of Raj when I was doing my thing in the early days on NBC. And Raj, where were you? You were a kid, right? Where was this?
Look, like you, I grew up here, and I remember in the mid-1980s, I looked up to three guys when I was a pimpled-faced teenager. It was yourself, new to the market, Mark Purdy, new to the San Jose Mercury.
Love Mark Purdy.
Dave Newhouse, a sports phone 680 or 68. Yeah. And Vikings against the 49ers, 1987. I go up to the hotel, the Vikings hotel, to get the autographs of Wade Wilson and Darren Nelson or whoever the hell was on the team at the time. You were there doing a live shot in your Buster Brown suit.
Thank you.
I go up there.
Roger, quit stealing material. Go ahead.
I go up. I got your autograph, took a picture with you, and I was so thrilled because you just brought something different. All the news managers and news directors and radio people, they'll, who cares about sports? It's all about numbers. But what you did back then and are still doing now, you just brought out the personality behind the numbers. So I appreciate that, and I think I speak for a lot of people. We still need that. We still need people to bring out personality.
Well, I tell you what, Raj, and I will work for the average salary of what you're paying those guys that hide out in the van. I'll work for $45,700 and be a part of the investigative unit, all right?
I'll double that salary. Alicia, I'll talk to you down the road.
I'll work on them, Raj.
Hey, Raj, you know why I like you? You got talent and you're a good guy. I only want to deal with both. I'll see you.
You're sweet. Congratulations. Good luck.
Okay, Raj. Yeah, good luck. Oh, good luck. We got to come back? All right. We're going to come back and wrap up the show with Howard Cosell from Heaven, Mike, and then we got Gout Man, and then the guy who sucked up to me the most. Is that it? Yeah, we took a role, and I love Tim Thim. FP's been good. Who's the guy with the beard who said you ought to do more social media? No, behind you. Sam, I love Sam. Thank you, Sam, and screw your social media. That's not helping anybody. Anyway, so we'll do that and come back, and we'll end this with the guy who sucked up to me more than anybody on the 10,000 deals I've gotten. We'll end with as I like to say, somebody sucking up to the host on these Sports Later.
This is our celebration of the Bay Area legend, the great.
Let's bring in the great.
Gary Radnich on KNBR 680, the Sports Leader.
Hey everybody, Brian Murphy here to remind you that Amici's East Coast Pizzeria offers weeknight dine-in specials after 5 p.m. every night, Monday through Thursday at their 10 Bay Area locations. On Mondays, it's all-day happy hour. You don't even have to wait until 5 p.m. Tuesdays, it's kids eat free. 1 free kids entree per adult. On Wednesdays, half-price pastas, any pasta, any size. And on Thursdays, it's free toppings night on any size pizza. So when you're looking for a good value weeknight meal out with family and friends, Amici's delivers.
At Lucky in Lucky, California, we have just what you need for your 4th of July barbecue. Foster Farms fresh chicken, drumsticks, thighs, leg quarters, or picnic packs in the Max Pack are buy one, get one free mix or match. Perfect for grilling. Top your chicken with select varieties of 18-ounce Sweet Baby Ray's or KC barbecue sauce at just 99 cents. And don't forget the fresh California-grown whole seedless watermelon for just $3.99 each. Home delivery powered by Instacart is now available at select locations. Get groceries delivered in as little as an hour. Visit us online to place your order. Only at Lucky and Lucky, California.
Hey, John Lund here for my good friends at Modesto Toyota. Did you know for over 54 years, people have been driving from all over Northern California to Modesto Toyota? Why? Because of the great deals and a huge selection to choose from. Over 13 acres of new and used vehicles. And it's no secret the Modesto Toyota has a large selection of certified used Toyotas as well. The best new cars make the best certified used cars. Certified pre-owned Toyotas have a 7-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty and 1-year roadside assistance. Modesto Toyota always has a tremendous selection of trucks, cars, and SUVs, all at great low prices. So, whether you're looking for a new or certified pre-owned Toyota, my good friends at Modesto Toyota, Kevin and the whole crew, they have the one to fit your needs and your budget. It's absolutely worth the drive to Modesto Toyota. Go to modestotoyota.com. Check them out online. ModestoToyota.com.
Credit Karma can help you make financial progress by giving you free scores, reports, and monitoring. But Credit Karma does not give you the love that only a mother can. It's just an app.
I miss my mom.
But you can use Credit Karma to help you improve your credit. But it cannot solve the eternal questions surrounding the human condition.
Oh, come on, I need answers.
But signing up is free. No credit card needed. Just download the Credit Karma app now.
Oh, there's my answer.
Credit Karma. Here's to progress.
I'm Jim Cook, brewer of Sam Adams. We put rich, delicious flavor first. Only the best ingredients, no rice or corn. Crafted traditionally and slowly. That matters to us and to you. Cheers from Sam Adams Boston Lager. The Boston Beer Company, Boston, Mass. Savor the flavor responsibly.
I've lived a life that's full. I'm not paid to suck anybody anymore. When you're done, you're done. I don't want to be a player no more, but I played. At the end of my life, God will say, you didn't smoke weed. You're on your way to heaven, son. What the hell that came from? And just real quick before we say hello to the two favorite. Okay, we don't need to tonight. You know what I hate? And I was in Vegas. Wayne Newton was 35 years old when I was in school there. Yeah, because he's about 75, 80 now. And he's singing My Way. You're 35 frickin' years old, Wayne. Do Donkey Shane and get off and wear the garter to tighten it. You know, I mean, Jesus Christ. Hey, before we bring in, just real quick, guy walked in, and just like Raj, wanted to be on. Here is Tony Ryan, who I admire you, both you and Larry. You know, something, and then you came back stronger than ever. And you're always, you know where I first met Tony? When Ralph was teaching a class at USF.
Yeah, USF, that's right. You were the guest speaker of honor.
Yeah.
And that's my only collegiate A, by the way, was from Ralph Barrieri. So thanks, Ralph.
You must have told him, Ralph, boy, I tell you, those things with Sabes are fabulous. Anyway.
Yeah, right.
But Tony, just thank, because I always admired the comeback.
I just want to say thank you, Gary. I mean, literally, I started here in 94 as an intern, and you were here already, and you were one of the coolest cats around, and I always loved how genuine and real you were. There was no BS. There was nothing. And just showing.
By the way, let me hang on with that. I'm going to tell the audience we'll be done in about 8 minutes. So, not going to go on. And Deb, if you could, no offense, go down and tell Ron Owens the show's great. You know, I mean, just quit hanging around here. Go ahead.
I just want to say thanks, Gary. There's a ripple effect. You have a ripple effect around here. You've helped all of us. All of us.
Well, thank you, too.
And I just want to say, we did the morning show together way back when, and you used to do this Cron Sports and then come to KNBR after doing midnight, getting off at like midnight, coming to KNBR at 5 in the morning and doing a full morning show.
Yeah, it was the only mistake I ever made. No, I'm sure the hell of a jackass. I was trying to show Tony says, hang on till we can find the next John London. So anyway, do it for a while. But Tony, no, you like I said, the comeback is a thing, and you're pretty cool, and you actually, have a mother and father. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. It's all about family.
It's hard to explain this story, but that means you got something besides. I believe in radio. Now, when I lost my job, shut up. All right. Thank you, Tone.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you. Okay, very much. I'm going to just, before we go, I'm going to get a last look at Alicia here, because then we're going to move in for the final goodbye. Nobody sucks up better than this guy. Plus, he's cool as can be. Okay, love you, doll. Thank you.
Just thank you for showing the kids how to do it. Top of your game.
Yeah.
Radio. TV, radio. That's how I think of you, because that's where we met first. But just
no, she said the TV
talented,
paid more.
confident.
Who's she kidding?
Okay, well that too. All right,
Yeah,
all the kids got to see you shine and do your thing. So well done.
Yeah,
beautiful.
All right, thank you, dear Spence. And let me ask you one more time. Will maybe your daddy and we can start doing a podcast on Twitch?
Sure.
Yeah, right. Okay. All right. We'll see you, Spence, and then James, you can get in here and start rehearsing for your sucking. Mr. C, oh, God, I love this guy. Again, the young demographic. In fact, I go to FP, quick. By the way, you're a good young guy doing something you don't want to do, but you want to be on the air, and one day you'll get there, okay?
Hey, I am where my feet are, Gary. And I really appreciate everything you did. No, seriously. Thank you for welcoming me in. I've heard tons of stories throughout the years, and it's just really special to be part of this.
Yeah,
really
I got to tell you a secret. I just don't get mad because I'm not here long enough to get mad at anybody. The only time I got annoyed with FP was about a month ago, and I'm sorry for that. I shouldn't have got annoyed.
No, it's okay. It was a great learning experience for me, and you tell it like it is, and it means a lot.
No,
it really does.
Well, it wasn't that bad. I didn't take you out back, because you would have kicked the hell out of me at my age. All right. Hey, thanks, FP. You're a good boy. And, hey, look at me, and look at me frickin' good. If you don't get on the air within 3 years, start selling insurance. You don't want to be, hello, it's 2 a.m., and I'm enjoying myself. Call now, I'm telling you. This guy I love. It's Mr. C. Mike. And is he the best? I don't know. But the point, you didn't know who Howard Cosell was, right, FP?
No, I did not.
Yeah, I mean, that's what makes this so great. In other words, Mr. C, you're about to kill the young demographic, but do what you can. You're on KNBR.
Well, Gary, hello. And I have to say, on this momentous day, in your honor,
yes,
I am speaking to you from the back of a car, and due to draconian tariffs, it is not a purple Cadillac, but instead it is a purple Suzuki Samurai.
Okay, well, and again, you, despite all your great success, you still believe in a Suzuki Samurai.
Absolutely, but what I really believe in, I got to tell you, is that, I heard you mentioning Sinatra, but all those great days in Las Vegas, Gary, at KVVU, when you took me out to the middle of the desert for that interview.
Yeah, back in the days, I've been telling too much today, but I had a little talk show in Vegas, and I would sell the spots myself because I didn't want to. Somebody says, here, back in those days, the poor TV people had to carry the camera. And my father would say, the reporter have to carry the camera. My dad would say, don't carry a camera. Because once they see you with a camera, they'll lose, the interview subject will lose. You ever see this on TV now, and you see the reporter trying to ask a question, and then the camera shifts? It's because they're doing the camera. So I would, my dad said, don't do the cameras, whatever. So I got this Cadillac, and I drove Cosell out, and he goes, I was going to call. I told him, hey, Howard, station's 5 minutes away. Said I was going to call Omaha today, but since we're driving right by it, long story. But go ahead, C, your final thoughts.
Well, absolutely. And on the way, you're pointing to the Tropicana Hotel. You're saying that's where I shot baskets with Bobby Larimore Riggs.
Yeah.
And then down the street at the New Frontier, you said that's where I saw Carol Lawrence and little Robert Goulet get into a fight.
I did. Carol Lawrence and Robert Goulet. Boy, we're killing the demographic. And Bobby Riggs, they just had a movie of his life. It was on with Billie Jean King, and they, instead of making it a fun movie, they made it all about her sexuality. But when I was leaving Vegas and, everybody, I was feeling bad, I said, no, screw it. So at the Tropicana Hotel, Bobby Riggs and I set up a match where I would shoot free throws. That's one thing I could always do is shoot free throws. So I spotted him 40, and I ended up having to give him $500. It's a long story, but he suckered the hell out of me, too. But thank you, C.
And
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, Gary. No, well, if it weren't for you, nobody would know that there was a beef between Sinatra and Dick Haynes.
That's very good. That's old as hell knowledge, but it's great. Hey, thank you, Mr. C.
All right, good luck, Gary.
That's a great Howard Cosell having. Here's the last guy, the very first caller we took on this show when we started. The question was, hey, it was a cooking show on Friday. Then I started on Monday. Sports Talk was just getting going, and this guy said, hey, what? No offense, what are you doing listening to the radio and sports at noon? He goes, hey, a-hole, I got gout. I can't move. Here is.
Nobody cares.
All right. Here is Johnny the Gout Man, who he said, no. My real black name is Johnny X. John, how are you?
What's up, old Faye?
Yeah, thank you very much. John, the first caller, and you know what one of the more things I'm proud of is that you actually got a commercial, and Ann Killian wrote a really nice article on you. You remember?
She did, and I remember that, man, and I remember the famous line you said to those folks when you was having dinner with your lovely wife, and they were looking at you too long, and you turned around and said, too black or too young.
Okay.
I said, man, that is classic.
Yeah, when Elise, babe, you remember that?
Oh, I remember those days, Johnny. At every party, every event, he brings that up. Thank you, Johnny.
Well, no, Johnny, that's fabulous. So we would go out and
I'd say both.
And when Elise and I were first together, we'd go out. You know how people, my gosh, that's Radnich. Look at who's with him, and they'd start staring a little bit, and then I would say, and in a nice way, because I'd say, excuse me. What's her name? Mildred? Mildred, is she, what is it, John? Is she too black or too young? What's upsetting you?
Young.
Yeah, and we had, I got to admit, we've had limited racial things in recent things. Most people on Twitter and that stuff got more sense. But, John, you're the greatest, man, and I'm glad you're getting healthy again.
Yes, and I want you to know, in 93, when I caught that 3-run home run from Fred McGriff, and I sold the extra ticket that KNBR gave me to a kid about the age of your son, Spencer, for a hot dog and a Coke, and you never let me down about that. I just want to let you know. I still got that baseball, brother.
And speaking of getting Fred McGriff's baseball, from the bottom of my heart, nobody cares, Sean. Nobody gives a rat's ass that you got Fred McGriff's ball.
Nobody cares.
All right, Johnny, love you, my brother. That's the great Johnny the Gout Man. Babe, you're out of here. I want James to switch in. Spence has had enough. Twitch is and the final words on this program, besides me probably saying something funny, I've said all I got to say, except I appreciate everybody from, number one, that's what Larry said when I was listening driving in. I appreciate Larry very much, but the audience, hey, thank you, because you don't stay on and you don't get to do it the way you want it. And that's the luckiest break I've ever had. It's just in life, I was able to do everything I wanted to do, work with people, everybody that I like to work with. And if I didn't like them, then I'd do something about it. But the point being is that I liked everybody. I mean, I was just so blessed to be able to do what you want and walk in and walk out. And even these guys here, they're nice to me, never bothered me, nothing. So, very nice. KNBR, even like I said, today they're all right. And they never bothered me once with anything. I didn't want to do commercials. I only had to do one because what was the guy? Right when they were getting ready for me to sign a contract, yeah. What's the guy? Whitmire is all right. I didn't mind him. I liked everybody. He goes, we're contract renewal, and I know you don't do commercials, but this Mason McDuffie's going to drop a lot of money here, and they only want you to do it. So it kind of broke my streak there of never having to do commercials. And I know Greg and John are going to do great. Greg, like I said, on the air, he's highly respected. He and John, heck, I bet the ratings go up a little bit, because there'd be something new. And Greg knows I used to kid Greg. I'll say it to him again. Greg, every once in a while, just say, geez, I don't know. What do you think? Just every once in a while, just every once in a while, because he's fabulous on play-by-play, and he'll be good here. And Lund is good, and John, continue to spike your hair. It'll be great. And I do want to see the first time, I had said it when Larry was on, the first time Larry goes, Tommy, we'll come back. No, I'm going to do the best international prospects for the Giants. And Tom will go, nada. All right. So anyway, things are going to be great. You watch. The ratings are going to jump for a while, and that's good. So here, of all the things, it's a young guy who I had in the Bentley once, and he said...
Yeah, you did.
No, we had a good time until you said, I'm trying to impress my girlfriend. Can I drive it over the weekend? And then, all right, here is Deb. Look at me. Deb, in about 3 minutes, I'm walking out that door. Anybody's hand I wanted to shake, I've shook, all right? If you so help me God, Deb, this is it. No hugs, no nothing. Just make sure that the audio stays crisp and clear. And I do like it. It's been on KNBR, KNBR.com today. So you watch. They're going to start doing this once they get rid of my salary in the end of the year. So anyway, here we go. The best sucking of anybody, James Kincaid.
Gary, Bill Murray, David Letterman, Gladys Knight on the Ed Sullivan Show, Bette Midler on Johnny Carson. How did you get so unfortunate to end up with me as the final guest?
That's very good knowledge.
That's
Hey,
James, a sad state of affairs.
I will tell you, though, and again, I will do the jokes.
Yeah, okay, you're right.
Get in here and start sucking. There's no need. And don't forget the time I told Tim Roy, Tim, don't worry. You don't want to be on TV anyway. Go ahead. Here we go. Start sucking.
I wanted to read what I wrote when I first heard the news, and that's this. My dad said it best when he told me that Gary Radnich is a national treasure. It became a slogan between us in our household. I've always been enthralled by the power of radio, but no one inspired me to be in the business more than Gary Radnich. His style, so fun, effortless, authoritative, brimming with confidence and joy. Gary gets it. It's supposed to be an escape. He always understood it's more important to take the opportunity to put a smile on a listener's face or cause yet another fit of laughter like he did so many times in so many households, cars, and cubicles over the years than it was to take yet another deep dive into a mundane box score. I can't remember a thing any host had to say about draft picks or the cover two, but etched in my memory are things like, I've lived a little bit, good knowledge, the Bentley, and FU money. Just a few Garyisms to make me smile again, as we should be when we're celebrating the greatest career in the history of Bay Area sports talk. Congratulations on an unparalleled career. All the blessings to you in your retirement, your beautiful family, and from the bottom of my heart and so many others, thank you for everything.
James, nobody cares. Goodbye. Bye-bye.
It's the new lineup coming July 16th.
This is Greg Papa
on KNBR 680 San Francisco, KSAN HD2 San Mateo, a Cumulus station.
When you drive with Uber, what moves you moves us. That's why we help drivers keep moving with support, in-app, in a local green light hub, or by phone 24/7, to help them do what matters most to them in life.
What moves me? Whoa, that's a really big question. Right now, what moves me are the people who gave me everything in life, my parents. They're starting to get a little older and they live with me now. So I help take care of them. And I do all the things they need me to do, just like they took care of me and did all the things I needed when I was growing up. That's the most important thing. That's what moves me.
Uber. What moves you moves us. Get started with support when you sign up to drive with us at uber.com/drive. That's uber.com/drive. Experiences driving with Uber may vary.
This hour is sponsored by Amazon. Amazon is raising the bar on wages. They're now hiring warehouse team members in the Bay Area. Apply online or attend one of their hiring events happening near you. Find out more at amazon.com/Bay Area jobs. Amazon's an equal opportunity employer.
This is John Feinstein with the CBS Sports Minute, sponsored by Fidelity Investments. At Fidelity, nothing stands between you and your money. Fidelity Brokerage Services, NYSE, SIPC. A few weeks ago, I was talking to Gonzaga basketball coach Mark Few, and he said the following: April through June has become the toughest 3 months of the year. Once, that was the time coaches unwound from the season, made plans for July recruiting, and caught up on time with their family. Now, it's sleepless nights time. Why? Because the NCAA has managed to allow the spring to become complete college hoops chaos. Everyone's losing players to transfer. Some aren't playing enough, others are being wooed as graduate transfers, and almost every coach in the country has no idea who's coming back from his team that finished the season and what recruiting holes he might be trying to fill with incoming transfers. Division I college basketball has become a nonstop turnstile for players. Yesterday, Kerry Blackshear became a Florida Gator. In June, what a complete mess. I'm John Feinstein.
The sun is shining and the temperature is heating up, which means it is finally grilling season. This season, eat like the party never ends with Kingsford. Grill burgers, chicken, corn, brats, ribs, all kinds of food without